Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's late episode of the ZodWriter Show. I am ZodWriter, and with me, as always, is the co-host of the ZodWriter Show, Mr. Johnny Alpha. And man, Johnny, it's great that you're here with me tonight, as always, brother. What's going on with you?
Oh, nothing much, man. Like, I dipped my toes into the live streaming thing myself this week, launched my show, which was a lot of fun. I'm really happy you showed up for that. And then I really, really enjoyed you and Lord Koj's wrestling thing last night, man.
Yeah, Snyder Cut Fighters. Yeah, we did our pre-show.
The pre-show intro was so good, man. You guys are so funny together. Like, honestly, like, you're just...
Yeah, Lord Koj is awesome, man, and it's always fun to do projects with him. But talk a little bit about your show. You said you dipped your toes in and you did streaming, and I could swear you showed your face on a recent video that you did. You actually showed your face to society, Johnny. I don't know if that was temporary insanity on your part, or if that was what you intended to do, or if you were just getting ready for your live stream, since everybody on the Pink Arcade, is that what it's called? What's it called?
The Pink Buzz.
The Pink Buzz. I don't know why I had arcade in my mind. I'm fucking thinking about arcades. But yeah. It was great. It was great to see. It was great to see you on a live stream with your buddies like that. It was really cool. And I was really happy. I mean, hearing you talk about comics and doing things that you really, really enjoy, that was awesome. And we got some people here in the chat. We got that dude Vince. What's up, man? Good to see you. Welcome. It's always good to see you in the chat. Yeah, he was in the chat yesterday when I was over at Enosh, over in Enosh's on Enosh's stream late at night. Enosh is always running his streams nice and late. There's Rhea. Hey, Zod. Hey, Rhea. How are you doing? Great to see you in the chat tonight. If you want to join the panel, you're always welcome to do so. The link is in the description. Ruthless Venom. Sup, Zod? What's up, Ruthless Venom? How you doing, man? It's always nice when we get a robust amount of people watching the live streams. I get so excited to see that, because you and me, we're just a couple of guys doing our thing, and we talk about a lot of different subjects on this show, and mostly stuff that we're really, really passionate about. I know you're kind of getting bogged down a little bit because of all the Snyder talk, and that's just gonna increase now with that new that Warner Media and Discovery merger that's about to take place. That's going to bring up a lot of the Snyder talk again, along with Army of the Dead hitting Netflix this Friday. Are there theaters open by you?
By me? Yeah. I haven't really checked. I'm not sure. I wouldn't go to one if there was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the thing was, I'm
a little paranoid still, so yeah, I don't know.
I was actually thinking about going to see Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead, and I couldn't find a.
Is it playing in theaters? I thought there was a Netflix.
Yeah, it's playing in select theaters, and I was trying to, looking to go see it, but I couldn't find, a time that matched up with my schedule. So I guess I'm gonna have to wait till it comes out on Netflix this coming Friday to watch it. Lewis Cox says, "Hey, Rhea, love you." Yes, we all love Rhea on this show. I simp for Rhea 1000%. So yeah, Rhea is always someone who who I definitely love having on the ZodWriter show. I extended, the invitation. She is always welcome to come on whenever she chooses. Even made her a member of the show, so whenever she wants to come on, she is more than welcome to do so. I love this. I love all this support, and I love all the Rhea love. I completely agree with you, Lewis. And then Lewis says, "Yo, Zod, hey, what's going on?" Anthony, what's going on, man? Good to see you, bro. Anthony's another really good dude. See him a lot on a lot of these live streams, and he, frequents the ZodWriter show chat. And that one, Carlos, oh snap! I didn't know you were doing this. Yeah, Carlos, I sent you a link. It was it's a late. It was a little. I started a little later because I had a family thing tonight that I had to do, and I couldn't jump on stream the normal time. But I figured Johnny and I shouldn't not do the show because I'm going to be a few minutes late, because that's literally what it would have equated to, Johnny. I would have had to, we would have had to, it would have been like, well, if I didn't do the show tonight, it would have been just me not doing it for no reason, because I got home in time to do it today. But
yeah, and then there would have been 2 weeks off, and that would have given, I don't know, the watchers, the viewers, a little bit of a scare, because 1 week's one thing, but like 2 weeks off,
Yeah, when you miss 2 weeks doing a stream, and you're always doing your streams. I mean, we've been pretty steady doing this show since you became the co-host on the ZodWriter show. We've been pretty much, being pretty consistent every week. So I want to keep that consistency. And we have one of my favorite people, Belle Reeve. What's up? She says, "What's up, Zod?" Belle does some amazing streams. If any of you watching the ZodWriter show have not checked out Belle Reeve, she does wonderful work. Her live streams are awesome. She covers a lot of great topics. She's a big Zack Snyderverse fan, like a lot of us here. And I just love watching her videos and live streams. She's awesome. She's just amazing. And so it's great to see you here, Belle. Awesome to have you here. And Carlos says, "I watched Army of the Dead, loved it." Well, that makes one of us, Carlos. I'm glad you got a chance to see Army of the Dead. Johnny and I are waiting until
what did you pirate it? Like, did it
I think
did
he might went
to leak it or something? What the hell happened?
I think he must have went to the movies. Did you go to the movies to see it, Carlos? Because
I think he rented Tom and Jerry, and HBO Max played it on accident.
That's very possible. And Carlos, he says, "The school semester is finally done, so I am so free. I really want to get back to participating here and in other streams." Well, Carlos, hey man,
hop on. We're right here. You're here.
Hop on if you're free. If you want to jump on, man, I sent you a link, and the link is in the description. One thing that everybody watching the ZodWriter show has to know is when we do these live streams like this, where it's usually just me and Johnny, I always say open panel for a reason, and always put the link in the description so that anybody who wants to participate is more than welcome to do so. It's amazing. And you guys are always, I'm always so thankful, because we always end up by about the half-hour mark. We always end up having like a huge panel, and we always end up with like 9 or 10 people by the end of it. And it's always so much fun. It's always so much fun to, have all this great participation. And I'm really humbled by everybody who shows up on the ZodWriter show from week to week. It's really, really nice. Let's see what we got here. We have Anthony again. He says, "Netflix and Snyder knocked it out of the park with Army of the Dead. It's a fantastic summer blockbuster that delivers big action, entertaining characters, and breathes new life into the zombie genre." Well, Anthony, coming from you, bro, I'm excited. If that's what you're telling me about Army of the Dead, I expected no less. I'm looking forward to it. And another fine gentleman who got to see Army of the Dead already, who is backstage and is about to join us right now, a good friend of mine that I haven't seen in a long time, Mr. Bad Dan. What's up, brother?
Nothing. Well, you don't see me much because normally I work the graveyard shift, but I'm on medical leave and get a normal sleep schedule now, so kind of nice about that.
I am so glad you are here, and we have somebody else in the backstage area who you know what? you don't need an introduction. You're just great. I simp for you all the time, so you can just come on. Again, you can walk on this stream anytime you want. Rhea is here. The show can finally get started. What's up, Rhea?
Yay, I'm so glad I could finally come back to the show. I just wanted to say, like, Zod, you're like the biggest supporter of, the film community, not even just like, the Snyder community. Like, you're just super supportive of everyone. And I just wanted to make an active effort to, hop on your show and show you some support, like you've shown everyone else support, consistently. So I just wanted to, sing your praises.
Well, I appreciate that. And I thank you so much. And I'm so glad you're here. I mean, because me and Johnny were talking a little bit about you before the show started, and I was telling Johnny
not
just
in a creepy way, in a very
in a very positive way, how much I am extremely in love with you and can't wait to come back to the show. So I'm so happy that you're here. And while you're here, and while Bat Dan is here, I'm gonna go ahead and make a little bit of an announcement, and I'm gonna make this announcement a little bit later too, but. On June the 1st, on the ZodWriter show, we are having Enosh Fett from the Poindexter Lounge as a special guest. So please, if you can, Rhea, please try to be here live for that one, because that's going to be with Enosh. And I'm doing a raffle where I'm raffling off 3 prizes, and I'm gonna show the prizes right now. The third place prize is the Star Wars Skywalker Saga on Blu-ray. The entire box set of all 9 Star Wars movies for anybody that loves these movies. Now, I don't know, regardless of what you may think of the Star Wars movies or whatever your opinion is, this is all 9 of them in a Blu-ray, I don't know. So this is third prize. Second prize, and the reason this is second prize is this is the Star Wars Despecialized Edition. These are the Star Wars movies on Blu-ray before George Lucas started tinkering with the movies and making all the changes and adding, in more special effects and animals and songs and different things that didn't belong in the movies in the first place. This is the actual theatrical cuts of the Star Wars movies. So this is second prize. Okay?
Remastered, though. They're
remastered,
cleaned up, and they look great.
They look great. They're remastered from 35 millimeter film prints. They're really beautiful. They look great on Blu-ray. I'm raffling this off as well. And first prize is for all the Snyder fans out there who've been trying to get a hold of this but have been unable to find it and have been dying to get it. This is brand new. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice remastered on 4K Blu-ray. Yes, and you got your copy. And this is a copy. I'm raffling this off because I actually ended up getting 2 copies because I ordered one from, I believe it was Walmart, and then I ordered the second one from Amazon. And when I got the one from Walmart, I forgot about the one from Amazon, and then the one from Amazon finally showed up. So I'm raffling off this one as first prize for all of the Zack Snyder fans who watch this show. So that's going to be June 1st to commemorate Enosh coming on the ZodWriter show for the very first time. What do you guys think about that? Rhea, do you think those are some good prizes or no?
Oh, that's amazing. Like, I just want to enter the raffle just to support, you, of course, but like those prizes are like, top notch, like super enticing for anyone. So yeah.
Okay, well, I hope everybody's excited about that. I really want everybody to be happy with that, and I just wanted to do that as once again as a contribution to the community, because I had sent Enosh a copy of the Star Wars trilogy, the despecialized editions on Blu-ray, and I was getting so many people wanting to know if I could make them a copy or whatnot. So I just decided I'll, raffle off a copy on one of these streams so that everybody has a chance to maybe win a copy. But with that, before I get to the chat, and believe me, I'm not ignoring you. I'm going to read every single one of your chats here. I'm so excited that you guys are you guys are here and you guys are engaged. And once again, I'm so excited that the beautiful, wonderful Rhea has joined us. This is so amazing. Let me bring in another really great friend of mine, someone who I've gotten to know over this whole Snyder Cut thing, and who I've gotten to appreciate and take his opinion. The man with the actual factuals himself, Mr. Prime. What's going on, man?
All right.
Hey, what's up,
What's up,
Prime?
Prime?
What's up, y'all?
Yeah.
What's up with it? Appreciate it. What's up,
Everybody loves Prime. I have to say, how can you not be excited when you get Prime on your live stream? I mean, come on, man.
I love when he gets down and he's doing his explanation and he's explaining things, and he's just got that lawyer's like passion in his voice. He's like hollering at you, but he's educating you at the same time. And
I love how Prime talks as well. He's always just, look, I'm gonna tell you straight up what's going on. Like, look.
Appreciate it.
Oh, it's so great. It's so great, man. I mean, I do, man. I'll watch your streams when I want a clinic, when I want a class in something. I'm gonna go straight to your stream because you break it all down. I mean, I love it. I love the way you do it. I love the way you analyze it. I love the way you make business sense of it all, and you set us all straight. Because what happens, Prime, is I think as Snyder fans, we all get caught up in our emotions. Okay,
yes,
and we all get caught up in what we want to see happen and what we're hoping, and we get like Brian Master of None always says, we get addicted to that hopium, and we start smoking that hopium, and we forget about the realities and the legalities and the truths and things that we don't understand because we're not involved in that area of how everything works. So it's always great, somebody who's actually in an industry like that, who understands the way this kind of stuff happens. Yeah, because I would never want to sit through one of those boardroom meetings. I'd be bored as hell. And when I see you, it's like, man, you break it all down. You're like, I know how these people think. And
yeah, when he brought that chart onto the show and he broke it down and he was explaining to us about the executives, man, that was sharp, man. That was some really good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people just don't want to understand the business part, man. I don't like talking about it sometimes, but I mean, reality, truth is a bitch. So you can't, truth is a bitch, but that's the reality of it. But did you talk about the accusation of?
We actually just Prime. You came in at the perfect time. We're actually just getting started. I was still in the process of gushing over Rhea and being excited about the panel that I have in front of me right now and all the great people here. And then, of course, I was talking about all the prizes I'm going to be raffling off on June the 1st. So, no, we actually didn't get into any actual, topics in regards to any of that yet. But if you would like to start us off, man, that'd be great.
No, I mean, no. I mean, I really want people to really look at this from a, with the Discovery deal. I mean, it's a good deal. I would say that AT&T is doing a very, very smart move. I say it's a very, very good, smart move, because they are in debt, like deep, and they was expecting for this to be a little bit more, but it's a good thing that the deal has went through. Discovery is going to come into play, and for what I know, because I'm still doing my research, I'm still getting a lot more stuff. But for what I can tell you is that now Discovery, they are about content.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't care pretty much about, about any propaganda or anything of that magnitude. They care about content. And with everything coming forth to the forefront, I think that there will be a lot of changes. A lot of things will be going on. I think they will honor a lot of the deals and the contracts. I think a lot of people are going to be disbanded. It's kind of sad that Jason Kilar is going to be he's just going to be absolutely abolished because Warner Media is basically gone after a year and
Now, is it true,
18
Prime,
months.
is it true that he sort of sided with Toby Emmerich, and this is one of the reasons why he's on his way out because Toby's out? And
No, so let's break it down from let's look at it from let's break it down from the real reason how this is going on. Okay. So Warner Media is a division that AT&T actually fully put together.
Okay.
So and Cernoff and pretty much Keelar, they're all about streaming. That's the main thing. That's the whole idea on their end. But what AT&T really wanted was that they figured that since they put so much profit into Warner Brothers, and they wanted into Warner Brothers and to Warner Media and to do everything with HBO Max, the thing of the demise of it was now people are backtracking on it, talking about it was a bad idea that Warner Brothers put all their IPs on the HBO Max. They should have waited and all that stuff like that. Well, put it in this perspective. It's like saying the best way I can explain it is like how Warner Brothers they projected an amount of a gross for their IPs to obtain. So let's go with BVS for instance. Okay, they wanted BVS to be $1 billion. BVS was very profitable. It did 875 million. Even though it was still profitable, it wasn't to the profit in a substantial amount of gain that they wanted. So reverse that to AT&T. What they wanted was that they wanted a gain to at least be able to creep up on the debt that they were actually doing. Meaning that the more pull on, subscribers or people coming in or signing up or the deals that they were putting together with actually the AT&T, with the Uverse and the phones and putting all that stuff together and so forth, they figured that they would be a little bit more in the black. Not saying that they're not positive, it's not to their liking. So they have to eliminate that debt. Mm-hmm. So this is the reason why the merger and the selling of that division is so key. Now, they sold it for $43 billion. Now, they're still going to be in the negative, but they're getting $43 billion back going towards that deficit. So that means the deficit is going to go down. They have to get rid of the division. Discovery and what they can do is that, which is good, is that you got to remember, which a lot of people was actually saying, was that, well, AT&T is a telemarketing company. That is true. That is absolutely true. But how they felt and how they looked at it was that we wanted to integrate this with our mobile devices, our Uverse, our fiber optics. So with them intertwining and putting that all together, they wanted to bundle that. And then they had more futures of bundling it and everything together with their products. It didn't do what they wanted it to do. And basically the way they laid it out, for instance, HBO Max did good. How can I say it?
They didn't do good enough.
Right. It did good.
They wouldn't be doing this.
Right. It did good. The numbers stay. I will put it to you like this. They were actually 2 years ahead. So they were profitable, but it wasn't to the point where they wanted. There is a graphic. I can't show it on here, but how can I put it? Is that I know, well, everybody know Netflix is at the top, which is surprising. I thought they were fourth. I didn't know that Prime, Amazon was second. I know Disney was third. And when you have Peacock and you have some of the other ones beating out HBO Max, that's a problem. Especially when HBO Max has all these great IPs on it.
You know what I always thought was funny? I look at, for example, if you look at Peacock, and I don't know what you guys on the panel think about this, but why is it that they gave their one of their biggest properties, the Harry Potter franchise, over to Peacock? That should
pre-existing
be on,
contract.
that should be on HBO Max. They should have been able to buy. They should have bought out that contract, because from what I heard, Peacock is going to have Harry Potter for the next 2 years.
Yeah, that's gonna be a problem too, because a lot of the stuff that they're signing off, they're going to give it to other. They're going to give it to other divisions, not divisions. They're going to give it to different companies and take up those and take up the rights on those, on those IPs and those titles. So I mean, how it all going to pan out, we don't know. Now, pertaining to the actual, I know everybody want to talk about it, but the Snyderverse, again, like I said, I think Discovery, they might flirt with it. But again, like I always say, Discovery has the money. But remember what I always said. It's not the problem about getting it. It's about, you got to remember, by the time they get all this stuff into fruition and everything going, because this whole merger is not going to go into full effect until basically, or at least be in full go until 2022 at the end.
Yeah.
So you gotta take that into consideration. And remember what I tell y'all: the actors are getting older. They're not going to wait around. Zach is doing his own thing right now. Army of the Dead is getting a lot of praise. I'm talking about, and the movie is fantastic. Okay, if you ain't seen it yet, I really, really advise everybody to go watch it in theaters, because I've seen it in theaters.
Yeah, so, I wish it was playing by me, man. I mean, it's not, but with that, we're gonna go ahead and add that one Carlos to the stream. What's up, Carlos?
What's up, Los?
Hey, what's up, Carlos?
So you got a chance to see Army of the Dead, and can you just give us your most basic thoughts on it right now, Carlos?
Sure. Yeah, I watched it. When was it? I can't think. I watched it Saturday night because it was playing in a local theater near me, and I loved it. Like, it was really nice. It was really nice to see a movie that's kind of like just stand alone, and you don't have to do a bunch of homework just to understand what's happening. But I mean, the actors were great. Like, my favorite character had to be Tig Notaro's character. She was perfectly integrated, and you didn't even notice anything. I mean, the dream lens kind of like does like cover it up a lot because there's a lot of blur if you're not like directly in focus. But yeah, it was so seamless. Like, there's probably like one shot that looked like it was a little flat, but other than that, she was perfectly in there. Story was great. Didn't see zombies are like no other movie. And it's kind of hard not to get into spoilers.
Okay, well, I won't get into spoilers. We're gonna get into spoilers on next week's show. It's gonna be all about next week's show. We're gonna break down Army of the Dead and have a spoiler discussion, because you're lucky. It looks like you and Prime have seen it. Bat Dan over here has seen it. Bat Dan, can you give us your basic impressions of Army of the Dead?
I loved it. It was great. I'm not a big fan of like horror movies, because you always get into these cliches of like people being stupid. You didn't get that too much in this movie. There was one bit at the end where I was like, go, move, go already. And the theater thought I was crazy, probably. But other than that, great movie. I love the acting. My favorite character was the safecracker guy. He was oh my god, like was such a great character. He was funny. His adapting to the world. Basically, minor spoilers, he's a safecracker, not a fighter. Put it like that. So you can imagine going in the zombie world how he was.
Okay, well, that's cool. So you let's see, everybody who's seen it. Carlos seen it, Prime seen it, Bat Dan has seen it. Rhea, did you see Army of the Dead?
No, not yet.
Okay, yeah, we're not alone then yet, Johnny. I thought for a second, I'm like, oh my god, I'm like more than half the panel's seen the movie already.
Yeah, so. I would say with Army of the Dead, I mean, if y'all can't see it in theaters, it will be on Netflix on Friday, but it's a very, very good movie. It's not a horror movie at no bit at all. It's not a horror
elements though.
Well, monster movie, monster horror. I kind of categorize them together.
Yeah, it's more of, I would say it's action in it. It's a lot of action, but I would say that I'll put you like this: the characters is what makes the movie.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I would say that the characters make the movie. My favorite character was Ted, who played Peterson.
Okay.
Yes,
It's so
that was
funny.
my favorite.
It's so funny that everybody's saying that, and this character was
Yeah.
added in at the last minute, and everybody loves this character. So I'm super excited about that. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see it because I kind of listening to all of you. I kind of feel like I'm going to have a similar view on it all. I'm so excited, you know, and it's like this is why I love being able to be on a panel with people whose tastes in movies I tend to agree with. Because it's easy to see where, you know, where we're all sitting at, like, well, this is, you're going to like this character, you're going to like that character. And when you mention specific characters like that, and then they stand out, and I go and I see the movie and I end up feeling the same way. It's almost like this massive validation. Like we all knew Snyder was going to do it again. So that's kind of how I'm
my review is going to be up tomorrow, but I would say this for the ones I didn't see it. The ending is going to make you happy, but it's going to piss you off at the same time. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
That damn know what I'm talking about. And Carlos know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ending is going to.
The only difference is though, I mean, they're building an Army of the Dead universe on Netflix, right? So you're going to get a lot of movies, a lot of
I mean, that's the good thing about it. And I would say is that. Well, I think everybody watched the first 15 minutes.
No, I didn't.
Oh no, I didn't before the movie started.
Oh.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so you didn't watch. it. Well, it's up on it's on the Netflix channel.
Yeah, no,
you can watch the first 15 minutes.
I won't do it because I wanna
just watch.
I want to go in completely unspoiled. So if you haven't, I ain't gonna say nothing because y'all ain't watched it. I would say is if you choose to, go right ahead. But I would say this: that beginning. Because people saying it's the best beginning, it's great, but it ain't better than a Watchmen beginning. I tell you that. It's tight, but it ain't better than a Watchmen beginning. People say, it's better than a Watchmen beginning. No, I ain't saying that. But it does a very, very good job of telling the story to let you know going straight in. Because once it starts up, Zach ain't waste no time. He went straight in. So that's all I can tell you.
Well, that's good.
I actually had like a quick question. Maybe y'all would have more insight on it. So like, I'll do my best to kind of like communicate it. So like a lot of like what I'm hearing in other, panels is that like people are equating large budgets to creative freedom. Whereas with Army of the Dead, I understand that there was like a $90 million budget, which is relatively low. But Zach had like, an abundance of creative freedom there, like pretty much full reign. So I wanted to know your guys' thoughts on, creative freedom versus budgets, and in terms of like how like Zach as a creator is able to express himself. Does he necessarily need like, big budgets to like make, to fulfill, his creative vision? Like if there was like, the Snyderverse to be continued, or, even if Army of the Dead were to continue to expand.
For him, it's a little weird because he is very, very dependent on green screen and mocap and CGI, which all cost a ton. But if he could switch over to actually filming on location with people, most of his shots, he could probably shoot for a lot cheaper than he already does. But a lot of people, most of the best movies that get made are made under the radar, made for small budgets. So yeah, no, artistic integrity is not tied to a dollar bill number or what they can make out of it.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
It depends on what you work with.
Yep. And you also have to answer that too, is that you have to take into consideration. See, people mistake the budget thinking that the movie is going to be great because of the budget. You also got to tie in your personnel and the I can't even think, the talent that you have as your crew. So you got to put that into consideration as well, because the price of the talent is included in that budget. So, but what I'm calling just stated is that when you take out travel, location, and you take out a lot of practical elements, and you're really doing a lot of CGI depending on what it is, then yeah, that movie was only 90 million because they pretty much did everything in Atlantic City, in Mexico. They did a lot of practical stuff, because a lot of stuff in there is practical, except some of the damaged stuff. it was CGI, but a lot of that stuff is practical. The actual they did an excellent job on the makeup and everything with the zombies and all that. So they did an excellent job with that. So when you do practical work, it's easy. It's cheaper to go practical to the opposed of going. It's cheaper to go practical than just using all CGI. Because if they was doing all CGI, yeah, that's highly expensive. That's why when you compare it to the Snyderverse, it's going to be expensive because that's a lot of special effects. There's not a lot of practical in there. It's pretty much, I would say, percentage wise, what would I say, about 75% main CGI? Because you got to think about the environment, then the characters, and then the powers.
It seems like you're lowballing it at 75%.
Yeah.
I would say with the CGI, it would be 75% because you got to think some of the stuff is practical. Some
of it, but like 15%, I'd say was practical. Like some of the on location stuff with Wonder Woman and Bruce Wayne, like that was all shot like normal style. But like so much of the movie, even some of the scenes that could have been shot on a location, like the farm scene, it was filmed. It was filmed, but I mean, it looks beautiful, and I mean, I'm happy that Zach filmed that the way he did and did his special effects. But he could have did it a lot cheaper if he just like filmed it in Kansas on a real farm.
Yeah, practical, and when that's where the budget goes high with the CGI. And Army of the Dead was only 90 million because, like I said, a lot of that stuff was practical and it was on location. So
you actually reminded me of how each of the Lord of the Rings movies cost around like $90 to $100 million. And then so like accumulatively, they were like 300 million. But like looking back, like all those it was mostly practical effects and miniatures to your point. But those movies hold up so much better than The Hobbit, which were like, like 75 to 85% CGI, which looked like crap compared to, the original Lord of the Rings. So,
because you could tell the difference in how movies are, because you think just because it's a very, very big budget, you think it's just going to be extremely great. It's very, very rare when a movie is going to be extremely great. Like, for instance, Tenet was a big budget. That's a good movie. There's movies that got big budgets. They're good movies. Don't get me wrong, but usually they're not. And that's and the only reason why those movies don't do good is that what draws you in is the actual cast. That draws you in depending on who they're bringing in for the cast. That goes into effect too, because if your cast is tight, you gotta pay them. So that goes into the budget too. So you gotta watch that. There's some actors that's ridiculous on what they want and what they want to get paid. Example, I remember back in the day when they was doing Superman, Marlon Brando wanted what? He wanted like 70-some% more in the budget. Just from his salary. They paid it, but at that time, was it like, Zach, can you remember? Anybody remember? What was like 90 million? I know
it was huge. I know it was huge, and that was one of the reasons why, and then I guess that they went back to, if you remember, they went back to Brando. They went back to Brando's estate for the Richard Donner cut of Superman 2 because they unearthed all that Brando footage and they wanted to use it. And I heard that was the cost of the majority of restoring the Richard Donner cut of Superman 2. They spent the majority of the money on paying Brando's estate to use that Marlon Brando footage. So yeah, he was expensive. I don't know the exact number, but yeah.
This is I'm looking it up right now. 3.7 million, starting. Like that's the salary, and then he gets 11.75% of the box office gross profits.
And that was like in 1980. Think about how much money that was.
Yeah, that was a lot.
The budget was 55 million.
Yeah. And by inflation standards, I mean the guy was.
He got like 15 grand. I would think due to inflation with what he just said, something like 15 to 20 grand basically in modern
million.
Million. That
yeah. You said grand. I'm like, I know that's pennies.
Yeah, that was a ridiculous amount of money at that time. See, now in this age, money like that's That's not a lot in this age. Back then,
Russell
that
Crowe
was
was so much
ridiculous.
better than him too, man. Like that sucks that he got shown up. I bet you Russell Crowe worked for a couple Twinkies anyways, man. He just wanted to be in the film.
Yeah, that's what
Brando was killing himself off of Godfather and Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, you got people got to take that into consideration with the budgets. I mean, don't really go all into it. I mean, because really, if the budget is low, it really benefits the studio a lot.
Well, the thing about it is, Zach could go indie if he wants to, but I don't think he really has to because he can. Dude, Army of the Dead's going to be a hit. The Justice League revived his career. Like he can kind of write his own ticket with any studio. I bet you Sony. There's several that are fledgling that are struggling that would love to write his hype right now. So
he
could probably be able to make a couple more big budget pictures, like huge budget pictures.
Yeah, because anywhere that Zach goes, the fan base is going to follow. So you're going to have that the benefit of that Snyder army, regardless of what studio Zach ends up making a movie for. That's the benefit of this kind of hype. I think you're absolutely spot on with that one, Johnny. I mean, and in relation to the stuff that Prime was saying here, I mean, we got, these budgets. I think people need to remember that Zack Snyder made a movie. It was a short movie, but he made it on his iPhone. It didn't cost him anything. He shot it on his iPhone.
It's probably his best work too.
Iron, and it's one of his best projects. I mean, it was great.
It's beautiful. I can't believe he did that on a phone. I think he's lying. That is the one thing I'm going to call Zach out on and ask for proof because that thing is just the cinematography.
Well, I think he did. He did on his Vero account. He threw up the making of it, and he showed like a behind the scenes, so you got to see how he did a lot of it. So
I guess iPhones really are worth all that money.
And a lot of that was practical effects too. He did a lot of practical effects because he didn't spend. So I believe Zach could make a movie with practical effects. I mean,
like if anybody is wondering, like if the 90 million is like hindering Zach with Army of the Dead, it's not. Like this.
Oh hell no!
And Netflix too. It's not looking like a Netflix like some TV movie that you're gonna see on, whatever cable channel you got. No, this is made for cinema like movie. So if anybody did have the chance to watch it in theaters, I highly encourage them to do so. It's great.
Hey,
what is the aspect ratio? I'm just curious.
Hold on one second. Hey, Zod, YouTube is down. So the StreamYard is going to keep on recording this. So that's why nobody is watching. YouTube is actually down, but we're still live. But the StreamYard is going to still record.
What did PewDiePie do this time? God.
You can still record it, but you can upload this later. So you can just re-upload.
Yeah, we got a lot of people. Yeah, we got a lot of people who commented. So I don't know how far down the comments go. I just got another comment, so we got like one viewer right now, so I don't know.
Yeah, YouTube is down.
Must be going up and down. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. Well, we'll keep going because they can they'll catch it. I guess we can catch it later. But this is a good comment here. It says, "Sup Zod, I don't know about y'all, but I'm hopeful more than ever for Restore the Snyderverse. Discovery will come through, I think." And this is what it means whenever you have a merger like this. People are so sick and tired of Warner Media's shenanigans that any kind of a change is going to make people happy. Any kind of a change. You got to remember, you're going to get that natural optimism just because it's something different from the status quo of no, you can't have this, or no, it's never going to happen, or no, we're never going to release the numbers. The idea of a merger like that, like you were pointing out earlier, Prime, it's a lot of money. It's a lot, and it's going to be a lot of changes. It's going to be a lot of adjustments. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's something where you can be hopeful, but you can be more optimistic than you were, because with the way things were going before, there was like no chance we were getting anything.
Well, you got to look at it like this pertaining to that, is that Now people can be optimistic.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, it goes back to what I said before. Time, and the actors are getting older. And at the same time, you got to take into consideration is that how can you fit that cast in, especially if they're doing other projects? That's what's going to be the problem. So let's just, like I said, this stuff is not going to fall into place until the end of 2022. We're in the summer of 21.
Yeah.
We still got a while.
That reminds me of that conversation we had that one time about how Warner Brothers would actually give you guys what you want once it was too late and all the actors were too old. It sounds like we're actually heading towards that being a very real possibility. Which,
because I will say, and I will say this, and then just before I forget, is that see, people have to realize is that not only that, you still have to find out how you're going to pay them. These are not just B actors. These are individuals that have done not only, Diane Lane, she ain't cheap. Henry Cavill ain't cheap. Ben Affleck ain't cheap. Gal Gadot, damn sure ain't cheap. So you got just with them alone, and they're not under no contract. You got to do all new contracts with their success. I even forgot about Jason Momoa. So I mean, that's just the lead. We ain't talk about J.K. Simmons, William Dafoe. We don't know what's going to happen with Amber Heard because of this actual, which I don't care, but in society, the way they think it or whatever, because now she's going back to court because of perjury. So my thing is that what's going to happen to her, even though she has signed a contract new for Aquaman 2, she's still going to be Mira. But the way that Hollywood is, maybe Johnny Depp will get reinstated. But either here or there, I'm getting off the topic, is that's the main thing pertaining to these actresses and actors. These are not second-tier actors. They're not cheap.
Right. So
you got to think about the cast. That's a big cast. Then you got to take into consideration too that special effects.
Well, and then they'll have to add to that cast too.
Yeah, and I forgot Jared Leto too.
We're gonna have to get more expensive pretty boys that ain't cheap to join the cast and become, the other heroes, Hawkman or whoever else is gonna be showing up.
Yeah,
and that's gonna, more cheddar. That's more slices off the cheese.
Well,
yeah,
Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 though is mostly going to be a nightmare movie. So I feel like that one he could do for a decently cheap price, not needing a lot of the actors that much, and he could reduce the special effects a lot for Zack Snyder's Justice League 2. And also remember,
Go ahead.
Also, Discovery said that they're going to give a $20 billion budget for content, something that's higher than Netflix even.
Yeah, you're right. And that's why I said that is good. That is good. But you got to remember too, that 20 billion, you don't know where they're going to divide that money up into. Because you got to remember, there's other IPs.
Yeah, all those Game of Thrones that HBO Max wants to launch.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to think about that too. There's way more other IPs, and you got to take that into consideration, especially when you got TBS and TNT, and they got that exclusive shit. That stuff ain't cheap. So you got to think about that too, and then you don't even. It's tremendous. It's just so much. The budget, the money is good. 20 billion is good. I will give it that. That's good.
Can I make like a small sort of observation that I just thought of in a metaphor, I guess, that this reminds me of. So these two kind of struggling-ish, streaming platforms, HBO Max and then Discovery Plus, I guess. They want to merge together to make their libraries more valuable, to acquire more subscribers, right?
Right.
It sort of reminds me of when when Kmart bought Sears. And then like they were supposed to combine assets and become more valuable as a company, but they just ended up closing more and more stores just to like survive throughout the years. So I'm hoping that that doesn't happen with Discovery, HBO Max, or whatever it becomes, but this is just what it reminded me of. I know it's apples to oranges, but I just wanted to throw that out there.
I wonder now, does anybody on the panel have an idea of what they think the name of the company is going to be? I've been sitting here thinking, wouldn't it be funny if they decided to call it Discovery Brothers?
I would love that.
That would be silly. But back to
Rhea,
back to Rhea's point, because before I forget, that's a very good analogy. But I'm gonna tell you why this was going to succeed with Discovery. You got to remember, Discovery has major networks. They got the Food Network, that's one. They got what's the other ones? They got the Food Network. They got the all the network.
TLC.
Yeah, they got TLC. They got the Food Network. They got what's those top tier networks? It all coming into an.
Don't they have Oprah's network too?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oprah. Yep, they got Oprah Network. So you gotta take that now. Just with that alone, just with those, that's 15 million that they're bringing over. That's 15 million subscribers that they have. So you gotta take into consideration just with that. And you was right with the merger. They're going to merge that. And with the Food Network, I'm just taking the Oprah Winfrey Network and the Food Network. I'm just taking them two alone. You're bringing a lot of women over. A lot. You're bringing a lot of people. A lot of people. You know, I mean, my mom is a Food Network fanatic. Okay? There's not just if you're a chef and you like cook. I even like the Food Network. I don't watch it religiously, but there's a lot of good stuff on the Food Network. A lot of people watch the Food Network. So, I mean, hey, and Oprah Winfrey, that is, you know, I mean, those are very, very good channels. And just for the amount of time that Discovery has their own platform, just for that time being, they just started. They got 15 million just that quick. So
I guess, one thing I did want to call out also is some folks are worried because Discovery Channel content or Discovery properties are mostly reality show based and relatively, you know, cheaper to produce. They're worried that that's going to transfer over to the Warner Brothers content and make it therefore like you know, the cheap Hamada burgers that everyone is worried about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm looking. They also got like Animal Planet and
Animal Planet.
Travel and stuff like that. So some pretty good stuff.
Shark Week,
you know what? I think
Shark Week.
Shark Week narrated by Jason Momoa. They could like have it be Aquaman narrating Shark Week.
Yeah, even if it's CGI, have him riding a shark while he's narrating too. That'd be gangster.
I think a good name would probably be Discovery Media.
Discovery Media and then Discovery Pro.
Discovery Max.
Discovery Max.
Discovery Max.
Discovery Media for Warner Media, Discovery Brothers for Warner Brothers, Discovery Max for HBO Max.
I wonder if they're going to be stupid like they were with Paramount, where they just merged everything from CBS over to Paramount and just changed the logo, but kept all the content the same and didn't add anything new.
All I would say is
some new stuff to Paramount.
Paramount is fine. I think Paramount Plus, I'm gonna go ahead and get it. It's at the bottom because they just started.
So garbage, man. It's so
right, but when you think about Paramount, they're gonna just grow. It's just gonna grow, and then it's just gonna get even better. That's why I say with this.
Saw the trailer for their G.I. Joe movie. That looked rad, man. You guys see the trailer for that Snake Eyes movie? Like,
I'm not too into G.I. Joe.
That Snake Eyes movie looked like a Chinese martial arts film that had nothing to do with G.I. Joe. That's why I was excited. I was like, yes, this is what I want to see. Man, let's bring in some top Asian martial arts you know.
Yeah, but a lot of
the
people don't
thing
know
is
about
that
G.I. Joe. They don't know about the origin about that. That's why I say it. And I was looking at some people's reactions, and I was like, I knew this was gonna happen. And I was like, I knew it. I was like, you want to know what? See, a lot of people don't know too much about G.I. Joe, and they don't know much about Snake Eyes. But the people that don't read comics, because you knew I was going there. If you didn't read the G.I. Joe comics, there's two ways. People fail to realize is that Snake Eyes used to talk. He lost his voice for a lot of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? This is the origin. Right.
Smoker. Yeah.
Right. He's going to lose his voice. If they go the route that I think they're going to do, is that where his face is completely disfigured and his voice box is crushed. That's why he can't talk. So people that knows about G.I. Joe and read books, they would know what happened to Snake Eyes. And if they're going to do this format, what they're going to do with the G.I. Joe, and they're going to start it with Snake Eyes, and they're just going to do the Marvel formula, I'm all for it. It just depends is that if you're going to do the original Joes, and you're going to do it in that format, starting with Snake Eyes, I pray to God, I'm just saying, just do it right, Paramount. Just do it right. Just do it right. Get the content from the comics and do it right. Because if you're going to do the original Joes, that's Snake Eyes, that's Scarlet, that's Duke, that's Stalker, and God damn it, I'm just talking about Joes.
Roadblock, right? Roadblock.
Yeah.
There you go.
They should do Roadblock's movie second. Get Michael Coulter.
Yeah. You know what they need to get. You know what they need to get Rick Flag in there, Johnny. That'll
Yeah,
work.
dude. Joel Kinnaman as I don't know who the hell he could play. Like Bazooka, maybe. Yeah, give him a crappy mustache and a football jersey, and he could totally play Bazooka. That'd be hilarious.
But
awesome.
like I said,
Generic Army Man number 1.
You say what?
Generic Army Man number 1.
I mean, but it's intriguing. I'm really, really stoked to watch the Snake Eyes and just see where they're gonna go. I'll just tell you this though, when they show, because the Baroness was one of my favorite characters. I always had a crush on the Baroness. And when I saw the picture of the Baroness, I was like, they're doing Baroness justice. You better do it right. And the only thing I need is that you need to have her accent. If she got her accent, you got the look. But she need to have her accent. If she got her accent, and then the way she verges off to be with Cobra, oh man, it's a wrap.
I'm sorry, Prime, but Brie Larson can't do that accent.
Oh, no, Brie Larson not playing Baroness.
Could you imagine?
Oh no. If it was something
God.
like I
gotta give props to Eddie for this comment right here. He says YouTube's collaborating with WB to censor this fire stream.
They would do that.
We've been saying a lot on this stream. So
one thing I will say about the merger between the two streaming platforms is it's really good. I hope more companies start consolidating, because the one thing that's pissing me off is that everybody has to have their own now, and it's almost like network TV, but you have to pay for each channel, and it's kind of garbage in my opinion. So like the more these companies that team up and they put their shit together, where you can just watch a bunch of stuff, not like having to have the special NBC one and the special, like just team up and have network television streaming. You know, what used to be network television. Nobody wants to pay $15 for fucking NBC. I don't. That's all I'm trying to say here.
Yeah, hey, it's gonna get expensive, man. All this stuff is gonna get expensive. I won't say expensive, because I think pretty much everybody on the panel, are y'all paying? I would say at the max, y'all paying for 3 streaming services.
I just watch Zods, and I have Prime.
Isn't 3 like the average? What the average household has 3 pretty much?
Yeah, it'll be 3. So I would say now, everybody, if you got all of them, great, more power to you. But I would say on the average, I would say per household, people they got 3 at the max. 3 at the max.
I got 4: Disney, Amazon, Netflix, and HBO Max.
Again, I don't think Amazon counts, because Amazon just has so many. Like
Amazon does count, but what I'm saying is, but Amazon, For that $15, you get
free
a whole
shipping and
bunch of
everything.
shit.
You get
free
music.
shipping, Twitch,
Yeah.
Twitch Prime Gaming, Amazon.
Yeah.
You
Like
get
so
Prime Music,
that's why
Prime
I
Gaming,
look at- I
Prime
look at
Video,
that.
and the
That's why I
ship.
look at
yeah,
Prime.
I don't
Prime.
think
Prime
I don't
is
think
so-
anybody 3 years ago is buying Amazon Prime Video. They're like, you know what? I just really gotta watch. I gotta watch Man in the High Castle, or I gotta watch The Tick. You know, like no. People are going to Prime nowadays, like for The Boys or Invincible or something like that, or some of the
No
originals.
Remorse. That
Yeah, No Remorse
Yeah.
is tight.
That
movie
was
tight.
badass,
It was
dude.
so
Michael
Yeah,
awesome.
the
B.
movie is
Jordan
real
was
good.
kicking the ass in that, man.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
one.
the movie is real good, but that's good. So she got 4, I got 3. Bad Dan. Which ones you got, Bad Dan?
I got HBO Max, Disney, Hulu, Prime, and I use my dad's Netflix account, but I don't pay for it, so I don't know if that.
I got 5 because I got Stars as well.
You got Stars? Okay.
Yeah, my mom really wanted to get Stars.
Well, I got, let's see, I got Netflix, I got Disney, I got HBO Max, and with Disney, I got that bundle that comes with Hulu and ESPN.
I was gonna say that.
And then what else? And I think other one do I? Oh yeah, Amazon. Well, I did say Amazon already. And then I got that because my parents like so I share it with them. They have the that Paramount Plus. So that's why I make fun of it all the time, because I never use it. I got it for them, so they use it over at their place, and it's like they watch it. You know why they like to watch it? Because you get for some reason we can never get where they live, they can never get a good signal for live TV on CBS. They can never get a good signal out there, but if you have Paramount Plus, you can watch live CBS content. So you get a really great signal and you can watch it live. So that's what they use it for most of the time. But me, I can't stand Paramount Plus Prime. I sit there and I'm like, man, this is literally the worst streaming service I've ever seen in my life. Because they've got so many great properties, and they don't use any of them. All those great shows and stuff that they have should all be on there. You should. I mean, I think they made a mistake farming off all the old Star Treks to all these other streaming services, because Star Trek is huge. So if Star Trek was exclusive to Paramount, that would be big for them. That would keep them in business by itself, but they don't do that. They got it farmed out to all these other services.
Well, once those contracts actually over with on those other platforms, because it is Paramount, once they're done, I think it'll be exclusively on Paramount Plus. And you gotta remember, Paramount Plus just started.
Yeah,
so you gotta let
it started off as that CBS All Access, and that was a massive failure.
Yep.
I mean, Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone could not save that. It could not save them. Star Trek Discovery could not save them, so they're pretty much in a hole. So hopefully, as Paramount, they can do better. I don't know.
Who's that in the middle at the top? I can't think of his name. Who was on the side?
Oh, Johnny.
Yo, Johnny, what you got?
I got Prime. I have Shudder, which is a niche horror streaming site. They curate like movies from all around the world, and they do have a couple original shows. And then I watch Zod's Netflix.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
I got Netflix, I got HBO Max, I got Amazon, and we got Hulu. I don't pay for Hulu. My mother paid for Hulu because she got all of it. She got the TV and all that. So I never
watch Hulu. Hulu's another one. You know when I liked Hulu? I liked Hulu back when it first started, and it was more artsy.
You could watch T.J. Hooker and stuff on it.
It had all the Criterion's movies, and it had a lot of classic animes and different things that they just don't have anymore. They changed what they are. They're all about current TV. It's like nobody watches.
Well, they're
that
Disney
crap.
now, so
actually Hulu. Honestly, Hulu was actually good because that's why now in the industry, because live TV is fading.
Yeah.
Because if y'all really want to know how these numbers are judged now, because a lot of these corporations, again, they're stubborn. So they're not really trying to really look at it now, but now they're going to have to because the stuff is changing. When stuff is live, people don't watch it. They're going to watch it the day after or a couple of days later. See, Hulu, you don't have to watch it live that day. If you got the regular TV, they'll just put they got the channels on Hulu. So you could just watch the dang show the next day or whenever that you want. Or
the exact reason I have Hulu.
Yeah.
I have Hulu for Bob's Burgers. That's the main reason.
That
you have Hulu for Hamada Burgers? Oh my God.
I mean, but it's all good though, you know, with that. So people stream stuff later or your DVR. So if you had a DVR, so if you DVRs a lot of stuff, they look at the numbers of that, of what people and what they record and what they sustain on the hard drive or the cloud. So they really take those numbers into consideration. That's why I say when you look at, you know, you got to take that into consideration. They have to do that now because a lot of people don't watch stuff live. They just don't. It depends on what it is where you have to watch stuff live. But 9 times out of 10, everybody not watching nothing live. They're just gonna wait and they'll watch it later. I mean, so
I do think some people do like live channels though.
It's all about convenience now. So it's look at how much more, you know, like for example, look at the audiences that YouTube takes away from live TV. Yeah. YouTube is more interesting than live TV. It just is because if you can get a live stream together and you get enough people talking about something that interests you, I mean,
I spend more time watching it than TV. Honestly.
Yeah, I do too.
Literally none of us said Apple Plus or whatever it's called.
What is that? What is that?
What is that?
I like Apple Plus.
But you know what? It's good that you brought that up because Apple Plus is 5th. With all the streaming service, Apple Plus is 5th. That's the crazy part. They're 5th. It's like Apple Plus is actually beating HBO Max.
So like
that's crazy.
They give you 1 free year every time you activate a new device. Just saying.
Oh, they do. See, I'm not an Apple dude. I don't care.
Rhea, do you have Apple Plus?
I never bothered to activate my subscription. There's nothing on there I want to watch.
Yeah, I'm with you. The only show I was interested slightly in was the one. Well, actually, there was 2. There was the one with Jason Momoa.
That's awful. I watched,
and I heard it was awful. But then a friend of mine was telling me that it was wonderful. So I don't know. I was kind of weighing between the two. And then there was this series, this sci-fi series about an alternative Earth called For All Mankind. And I was slightly interested in that, but not enough to take the plunge for Apple Plus. It just doesn't work for me.
Yeah, buy a $2,000 iPhone and get a free year.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, good luck with that.
And Truth 31, what's up, Truth? # Truth Army. Truth 31 says here, YouTube, stop being the weed and cut and get your shit together. Well, that would be nice.
You know what? Good thing he brought that up because now it popped up in my head. I would say now the haircut is definitely going to come into fruition now. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah, because they need content.
Right, the haircut is really going to come into fruition now, and I will not be surprised. And I'm going on a limb here, and I'm biting my tongue, but I have a feeling in my gut. I would say this: if it's not announced at DC Fandom, it will be announced at the beginning of next year that they're going to release it, because they gotta wait till Suicide Squad is done. Because DC Fandom comes out in
October.
So James Gunn's Suicide Squad comes out in August.
Yeah.
So they gotta wait for James Gunn's Suicide Squad to finish, die down, do what they gotta do, and then whatever new projects or whatever IPs that they still have available on the plate, they gotta announce it at DC Fandom. If it's not at DC Fandom, they're gonna have to announce it, because why? Now with all this stuff about to go down, they're going to have to put content up on that HBO Max. Now, the good thing about this is that the Friends reunion is about to kick off.
Yeah, that's
you see what I'm saying? So all that stuff is about to kick off. So now we're going to see where their numbers is going.
They're going to lie. They're going to say it's like they're going to say, and you know this is going to happen. They're going to say that Friends reunion was the most watched streaming event in all of streaming history.
It
You know
might
that's what
be,
they're going to
though,
say.
dude, because I know so many people who love that show, dude. And I know a lot of people that'll probably watch it. Like, I knew so many people that watched that Full House one. And, like,
Well,
who
I
admits
did.
Oh
to,
my
like,
God. I was out after the first episode. I'm like, I was like, oh, the Michelles didn't come back. I'm out.
It was a guilty pleasure for me. That's all it was. It was like I knew it was bad, but yeah, the Olsen twins didn't want to do it. But don't worry, ZodWriter. They throw a lot of shade at Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen in the show. There's a lot of little like Michelle looking at the camera.
Yeah, it was like,
the Olsen twins show wasn't in the new Full House.
Look at the camera.
Now, did they cancel that Full House?
Oh no, they ended. They have like an actual like ending. Like it's over, but it was like the planned series finale.
Oh, okay. But the Olsen twins didn't make it.
Nope,
They
the
didn't
Olsen twins didn't. And neither did Rebecca for the final season either.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
She was in jail, wasn't she, Rebecca? For
not
that
in jail
college
yet.
scandal thing.
Yeah, but that's why. That's why she wasn't in season 5.
Yeah.
Oh,
And Eddie
okay.
and Eddie's here, and he says,
Wait, there's been
"I'm
5
about
seasons?
to just pretend what's going on in the stream and make it canon." That's cool, Eddie. I mean,
Yeah.
we got a lit stream going on here, and you know, I mean, you're more than welcome to jump on and be quiet if you'd like. I mean, that's cool because that's what you usually do on streams. So we're gonna bring in Lord Koj here, my good friend, my good brother. What's up, Koj?
Awesome show
Koj,
last
what's
night,
good,
brother.
family?
Awesome show last night.
Oh, I'm glad you caught it. What's up, Prime? What's up, everyone? What's up,
What's
Bad
up,
Dan?
Coach?
Haven't
What's
seen you in
good
a
with
while,
you?
bro. How's
Yeah,
everyone
it's hard
doing?
to catch streams on when you work graveyard shift.
Oh, I feel
Because
that,
normally I'm
bro.
sleeping.
So Dan, how long are you on medical leave for, man? You
Well,
gonna be available for more streams or what? What's going on?
Officially, it ends on Friday, but I have my doctor's appointment tomorrow to see how. And so, basically, for context, what happened is I had a bit of a head injury at work. A box fell on my head. Well, a bunch of
sorry,
boxes
bro.
fell on me. One hit me on the
It's
back of the head
terrible.
and the neck. Yeah.
Ugh.
Ouch.
Oh,
Yeah, and let's just say I put much heavier boxes in those aisles, so it could have been much worse than it was. So I have a concussion, and basically I'm on medical leave until Friday. But if you know, I'll talk to my doctor, and if we still don't feel like I'm ready, then.
uh-huh.
But of course, what happens is right after I leave, Amazon gives everyone a raise that I'm not part of because I'm not because I'm on leave.
What? Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Jeff Bezos.
So Garbo.
Mm-hmm. I have all the luck to happen in the world.
Ah, that's horrible. Wow.
Yeah.
What's up, man? You got justice.
They might
Yeah,
give it to you.
That's
They might give it
what
to
we
you.
call an injustice. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be careful saying too much because this is a live stream, and maybe it wouldn't be the best thing for.
Okay.
We want to keep you hired, man.
Yeah, just keep it on the hush hush.
I
don't want
brought
to
it
get you in
up.
trouble, but I just hope that everything is going okay, and hope that you're recovering the way you need to be, man. That's all that matters.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, not as much as I'd like to be, but enough.
Yeah, I just kind of was worried that you had maybe corona when you first said that you were on medical leave. I caught it January, so I was like, "Damn, dude, I hope you don't got it because it's gonna suck ass, brother."
I'll be honest. I wish it was Corona for 2 reasons. One, there would be no limit on how much TV I could watch, and 2, there's at least a 2-week limit on it. So
Those are some plus points for sure.
So somebody clip out Bat Dad. We're gonna have to use Bat Dad's little clips because his clips are golden right now.
Hell yeah!
Ruthless Venom is saying somebody at YouTube must have ate a Hamada burger and got food poisoning. Yeah, that I could totally Ruthless. I could totally see that happening too. Hamada burgers are not good for your health.
So is YouTube still down?
No, I think it's back up now.
No,
I
it
think
was
it's
back up. I had
back
a
up
premiere
because
video
it's
right
back.
now, and it was in and out, but it was good towards the end, so I think it's all right. One of my boys, his live stream got kicked off. I don't know. Maybe it's good. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's looking good. We got about we got about 10 viewers right now, so it seems like people are starting to trickle back in and starting to watch again. So maybe
Prime,
it just jumped up. So
I'm froze.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
So Prime,
does anybody know anything about this? Anthony is saying here, Zach says he's trying the stagecraft. Does anybody know anything about this?
Stagecraft is that the the green screen technology they used for, or like the background technology they used for the Mandalorian?
Yeah.
I think that's a green screen where it's all encompassing.
Yeah, it's not a green screen because it's technically just like a monitor that that actually projects the light.
Zach is trying all new technology.
I think he did that for like when he was like giving a little like statement for Army of the Dead or something. He was like saying something and like he was actually in like the pulse of like the wasteland, like Las Vegas. So I'm like, oh yeah, he's probably using that technology right now. I forgot exactly which video it was.
And according to Silent Eddie, everything is back to normal. So that's cool. Thank you, Eddie, for giving us that update. You actually have typed more in this live stream than I think I've ever actually heard you speak on a live stream. So that's pretty awesome.
Stagecraft is what they use a lot on Mandalorian too.
It looks great.
Yeah.
Because like especially for reflections, because you don't actually have to like comp out like reflections in glass and like actually do like an actual reflection for that, like in CGI. Because light actually just passes through from the back where the screen is and then towards the front where the camera is.
Yep.
All right, and here's a positive here. That dude Vince says, trick with CBS All Access was that you could log in with cable credentials if you had them. With Paramount Plus, you can't. Well, Paramount Plus isn't about all that. Paramount Plus is about their brand and their brand only. They don't want you to log in with any additional credentials.
I just looked at their library. Their library is pretty lackluster. Like the only thing I'd probably use it for is probably like classic Nickelodeon and maybe SpongeBob.
Oh, and the revivals too.
Yeah, but with them just starting, man, they're not gonna have too much.
If you like the new Star Trek, I guess.
Yeah, they're not gonna have too much on Platinum Plus yet. I mean Paramount Plus yet. They just starting out, so it's really no rush to get anything.
I'm kind of surprised that they switched from CBS All Access to Paramount Plus so quickly.
What about their movie library? Are they bringing that into it? Because they have
they haven't though. That's the thing. They've got like a handful of movies. They've got like 9 movies.
See, that's where they're screwing up. Because Paramount has some amazing films. They're a big part of film history. So they're not offering that. They're kind of screwing themselves, in my opinion.
Doesn't Paramount own the Hulk?
That's a good question.
Universal for solo movies, Marvel for ensemble films.
My bad. Right. Universal, not Paramount. But
although Paramount does actually own the distribution rights to Indiana Jones 1 through 4.
Yep.
So they'll have that. Plus, they have the SpongeBob Revival that is going to be.
So they just bringing back old shows, man.
SpongeBob twice. I mean, he's a sponge. I mean, it's not that hard.
I mean, I was watching a trailer for the new Miami Vice. They actually got like the old cast back for that one, though. That actually kind of looks interesting. They got Don Johnson back, looking like some '80s pervert. And
what? He's looking for a hot.
Wait.
Did you like the movie?
Yeah, it's real. Yeah, there's a new Miami Vice with.
You know.
With the actual returning cast, yeah, Don Johnson's going to be Crockett, right? Or he was Crockett, right?
Yeah, he's so old he might be Crockett.
So wait, he's come. Wait, so they're really doing a Miami Vice revival.
It's like a mini series thing. Yeah, I think it's only going to be a couple episodes, like that that X-Files shit. But yeah, it's going to be like or like maybe like the Twin Peaks.
So wait,
revival.
Did they actually Philip Michael Thomas out of a cage? Did they get him to come back to acting?
I hope they get Phil Collins back. That'd be awesome.
No, Philip Michael Thomas.
Oh.
Tubbs, did they get him to come back?
Yeah, I think so. Everybody that was involved in the old show, they tried to get back at least. So I think so.
Man,
awesome.
why would they do that? They old as shit.
Yeah.
Maybe they're gonna kill him off. I don't know.
They're gonna be walking with walkers on the show.
Philip Michael Thomas and fucking what you call it?
Don
They're gonna get Edward James Elbows back in there too.
They can't even run. How are those scenes going to work when they're running, chasing someone down? They're going to be like waiting for their Uber.
Vice, that's what it is.
Christopher Nolan,
CGI everyone, make them younger.
Christopher Nolan made it work in the movie Insomnia. If you watch Insomnia, you get to see Al Pacino chasing Robin Williams down snowbanks. They're doing all kinds of parkour. If Nolan could pull it off, I'm pretty sure he could probably teach other people how to do it. Geriatric parkour is a real thing. Nolan proved it.
And I just want to point out before we introduce our next guest here that all of the stuff that we were saying about Brie Larson, I was joking. I was joking with Prime about G.I. Joe when I said Brie Larson. I wasn't throwing shade at Brie Larson. I was just joking because that's not a character we would ever want to see Brie Larson play. And
no, not Baroness. I would tear it up. Brie Larson pretty, but she ain't Baroness material. So no.
Man TV, welcome to the ZodWriter Show. How are you, bro?
I'm with Prime.
What's up, Marco?
I'm doing fine, Prime. How are you? It's been a while.
What's good with you, man? So
yeah, it seems like there's a lot of stuff in the chat. People are talking about Brie Larson. What's going on with Brie Larson?
Oh,
Ray? Are we trashing Brie Larson too much on this show? Is that what's going on?
No, not as far as like what I've been hearing. I did want to bring up that I've been hearing mumblings or rumors of her like petitioning to be in Star Wars, and then people are saying that she is eyeing potentially portraying Mara Jade, who I understand is part of the extended universe of the novels. So folks are like kind of like, well, this is gonna, is this gonna usurp, the sequels, because the look that we got in the sequels is completely different than, him when he was, betrothed to Mara Jade in the novels. Yes. So maybe y'all have more knowledge about that.
Well, here's what I have to say about that. Number one, Brie Larson would be horribly miscast as Mara Jade. That's number one. I would really have a tough time with that. I would rather.
She needs to be one of those aliens with tails on her head.
I would rather. Yeah. I would rather they brought back. What's her name? Daisy Ridley. Gave her a red wig and turned her into Mara Jade before they had Brie Larson come in and play Mara Jade. I just don't see how that makes sense from just to give her a role. I mean, if you want to make her somebody in Star Wars, that's cool, but don't make her
Greedo. Tell the story of Greedo.
Yeah, for real.
God, what is your reasoning for her inability to portray Mara Jade in your opinion?
I want you to play Mara Jade.
Well, I'm gonna be Zatanna, so I mean, my schedule is booked.
You're gonna be busy, but hey, you can be.
I'll see Zatanna.
That's fine. Hey, listen, I don't know. I don't know. She doesn't fit the role in my
I could see her more playing more hard ass version of Leia. I could see her being like a rebel general, like badass Darth Mama type character.
Yeah, or she could play Darth Maul. She could play Darth Maul's mom. How about that?
Jesus Christ. No, that's Jennifer Lawrence's part, damn it. She's perfect.
Wow. Did they have Darth Maul's mom in the Clone Wars? I know they explored his planet, but I don't remember if the Queen Witch was his mom.
If they do, I'm totally watching it.
I was actually genuinely surprised that the voice who did Darth Maul in the Clone Wars is the same voice actor who did Starkiller from The Force Unleashed.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Same writer.
That's
pretty
awesome.
good actor.
That's awesome stuff, isn't it? I mean, that's great. He's got a great voice. That's for sure.
Hey Zod, you have an announcement, right? You're going to be giving away some Star Wars shit.
Yeah,
you wanted to mention it again?
I think this is a good time to mention it again now that YouTube is back up. We have on June the 1st, I'm going to be having Enosh from Poindexter Lounge on the ZodWriter show, and I'm going to be raffling off some really amazing prizes here, and there are 3 prizes here because here at the ZodWriter show, we absolutely love physical media. We're not really the biggest fans of digital. Digital's cool, but we love physical media. So the 3rd prize that we're giving away on June the 1st is going to be a Blu-ray box set of the Skywalker saga, all 9 of these Star Wars movies. So if you love these Star Wars movies, you're going to want to be here on June 1st for a chance to win this Blu-ray box set if you don't already own these movies. Brand new Blu-ray box set. And 2nd prize is going to be the despecialized edition of the Star Wars trilogy. This is the version of the Star Wars movies that the fan editor Harmy took the 35 millimeter prints and remastered them, cleaned them up. These are the theatrical versions of the original Star Wars films, and put them on Blu-ray. They look absolutely beautiful. They're cleaned up. They look perfect. This is the 2nd prize. And 1st prize for all of our Zack Snyder fans who watch the ZodWriter show regularly, you have a chance to win the very, very hard to find Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Give it up.
Remastered Ultra HD.
It's
4K,
dope.
4K, yes. And the reason I'm raffling off this
I'm jealous, yo.
The reason I'm raffling off this copy is because when I ordered 2 copies. I ordered a copy from Walmart, and it was delayed, and I got nervous thinking I wasn't going to be able to get it. So I ordered it from Amazon, and I ended up getting my Walmart copy, and then a couple weeks later, my Amazon copy came, and I totally forgot that I forgot to cancel my Amazon order. So because of that, I want the community to benefit from it, and so now I'm raffling off this as the 1st prize because so many people are Snyder fans and have been trying to find a copy of this movie. So you'll have the opportunity to win just by being here in the chat on June the 1st when we have Poindexter Lounge as Enosh as the guest for that particular show. So I think that's cool. I mean, all you physical media fans out there, I don't know, what do you guys on the panel think? You think those are good prizes, or
those are good prizes?
Dude, you already know I want the 2nd prize for myself, man.
Rhea, which one do you want?
And if anybody who's
shoot, which one do I want? I like the original trilogies, like the remastered ones without the
remastered. Yeah, the remastered theatrical versions. Okay. Yeah. So, but like I said, everybody, you'll have a chance on June the 1st just by being in the chat, and people on the panel can also for that particular show when we interview Enosh, people on the panel for that particular show as well can enter the contest. So I'm not limiting it to people in the chat. So people in the panel can also participate. So it's going to be fun, and we're going to do a little fun thing. That'll be how that's all determined. The details for that will come out later, but I just wanted people to know, and that's going to be on June the 1st, which is a Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. So you're going to want to be here for that if you are interested in any of those prizes. So, yeah.
And for anybody who subscribes to ZodWriter, you get a free rare minifigure of the Wayne T. Carl's Jon Stewart Green Lantern.
How many of those you got? You're going to get 100 subs.
Still.
I want to ask everybody this question. Since everybody's on the panel and everybody in the chat. Do y'all think, even though I have my theory, but I want to have y'all theories. Do y'all think that Zach is going to really show that Green Lantern scene? Either he just gonna throw it out there, or do y'all think when the actual Blu-ray comes out, do you think he's gonna put it on there? Do y'all think that
the Blu-ray? No, Prime. The Blu-ray is already out in Europe. The Blu-ray is already out officially.
Yeah, it's already manufactured.
It's already been. It's already been ripped and everything. It's out, and there's nothing new on it. It's the same film.
It's the same thing
for them.
Okay, well, that's
well, we decided is to do it in the U.S. It's gonna suck.
Well, here's my question. My question to you, Prime, adding to what you just said is, are we going to get it released in the U.S.?
Hell yeah, we gonna get it in the U.S.
At this point in time, it looks to me like they want as many people to stay with HBO Max as possible. So it's almost like they're dangling a carrot. They're going to hold off on that physical copy for as long as they can in the U.S. That's why you're seeing so many bootleg copies of it on eBay, because they have not announced a release date for the U.S. for the Snyder Cut yet.
I will put it to you like this. It's like, let me put it in this perspective. If people only want if people just want Justice League and that's all they want, then that would be for the individuals where they can just go ahead and they can purchase it for that. But if you just like HBO Max as a whole, people are not going to go nowhere. So, but me personally, I'm probably one of those in the demographic saying is I'm going to keep HBO Max. I just want the hard copy for myself.
Oh yeah, I'm with you.
I'm with you, Brian.
All about physical media. Well, again, we're all about physical media here on the ZodWriter Show. Listen, I ordered a bootleg copy off of eBay of the Snyder Cut from. I was telling Kojay about this yesterday from Sri Lanka, and I never got it. The copy
motherland.
Never came. And I ended up getting refunded. But the thing is, the cover of the Blu-ray looked so bright and colorful. It almost looked like a parody of like they were making fun of the Snyder Cut in a way. But
it looked like a Kellogg's cereal box.
Yeah, and it was hilarious. And I wanted it so bad just for that cover art. And it never came. It was at the end of the month. It was at the end of April. It was shipped out, shipped out at the end of March after the movie came out, and it never got delivered. So I ended up getting refunded on it. But it was only, I think it was only like $10 or something like that. It wasn't very expensive at the time. But if you go on eBay now, there is a ton of bootleg Blu-rays of the Snyder Cut. And not only are there bootleg Blu-rays of the Snyder Cut, there's bootleg Blu-rays of the Justice's Gray edition as well. Just to show how big Zack Snyder is at this point in time, like for real.
I mean, if you really don't want to keep it, if you got a capture card, I've recorded it already. So I got it on my hard drive. I got the and I already recorded it. So I'm
not going there because we can talk all we want to about recording it and having sure. Any self-respecting.
I can go pick up a copy at the swap meet, like in the parking lot.
Yeah, and you get for a few bucks, and it comes in a DVD and a Blu-ray case, and it has all this nice artwork on the front of it. It looks really great. And here's the thing, I mean, if you really want a physical copy, but I'm telling you, if you're all about physical media, that's the thing. You want to have it in your hand, regardless of if you support HBO Max or whatever. You want that physical media.
Well, jumping into it though, I mean, I think it might be a little. I wouldn't buy it just yet because I keep getting the feeling that they're going to extend the Snyder Cut. I keep hearing all these stories about them finding newer clips that they're going to be putting in, and I think that they're actually going to put out a longer version of the film.
The Snyder Cut of the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, dude, I would not be surprised because you guys keep talking about all these new scenes and stuff that he had to cut out of his supposed master cut. So I'm just going to ask, how long do you guys think this movie is going to be done? How long is the runtime do you think it's going to be when we finally get the actual version?
The only part that was cut out. The only part that was cut out because WB mandated they took it out was the part at the end with Joker, which is only 10 seconds.
You mean like
the Joker, that little scene? Yeah, the society line, and with the part talking about, are you talking about the girl or the boy? That part in that dialogue, and of course, the last scene, because the last scene was supposed to be with Jon Stewart, Kilowog, and Martian Manhunter coming to see Bruce. But he had to change it and only do a Martian Manhunter.
I'm still hoping for a 7.5 hour cut. He can do it. I'm pretty sure he's got enough.
I want more movies.
With that 7.5 hour cut, we got another man here on the panel that needs no introduction. My Chicago brother, Vega. What's up, man?
What's up, Vega? All good, bro.
Fine, Marco, Koji, Batman, Zod.
It's so good to see you.
Y'all. What's good?
Oh my God! What a lit panel this is tonight. I couldn't be happier with all these great people on here tonight. You guys just made my day, man. I had a bit of a rough day earlier, and these last couple days have been kind of messy for me. And this is just so great. I am so happy to have all you guys here. I mean, my goodness.
Don't let the badness, alter your day, bro.
Hey, man, this is great. This is the way you cap off any day with a great live stream. So what's up, Vega? Tell us what's going on in your mind when it comes to all this merger stuff and Discovery Channel and Mammals and Humping. What's going on, bro?
Well,
Animals, what?
Right. Hey, I think we covered it yesterday a little bit on Koj's live.
I'm a
Covered again. That was yesterday.
Yeah. So my mindset is still the same as yesterday. I think there's moves that are being made, and
wait. Your mind stayed in the same place from one day to the next. Are you serious?
That's rough, bro.
Wow, bro,
Gotta progress.
That's like a milestone with the way news is around here. Like, one day is like an eternity, bro.
I'm like a tree, man. I'm firmly rooted and planted.
I love it.
Oh, yes, sir. I mean, I just came on. I'm like, look, I saw you were live, and I'm like, then I saw the panel. I'm like, I gotta jump on before going into work.
Oh, you gotta work tonight, bro?
Yeah, what?
Damn.
Great. He called you in.
I feel for you.
Damn, we doing a third for real.
I feel for you. Got to go in now, dude. I'm looking at the clock, thinking, man, after this panel, I'm gonna go to bed and have sweet dreams, and you're gonna be lifting boxes, man. I feel for you, bro.
Damn, that third.
Oh my God, Vega.
Man, I do this.
Oh my God, you are.
It's actually.
I mean, you're Superman for real, Vega. That's what it is.
Well, yeah.
I put that night shift like Batman, boy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Hey, that third shift ain't no joke, though. I already know.
Yeah.
Well, I guess since Vega's mind hasn't changed, I'll pose this question to the panel here because I think this is pretty cool. This is from Marcus Cruz, and Marcus asks, Zod, what do you think of John Krasinski and Emily Blunt as Reed Richards and Sue Storm? Sorry for being repetitive. Just want to hear your opinion on it. You're not being repetitive, Marcus. I'm slow getting through the chat because we've been having a lively discussion. So this is the first time I've actually seen it posted, but I thought it was good, so I decided to bring it to the panel. I think that Marvel taking another stab at the Fantastic Four is fruitless. They need to just put this on Disney Plus right here. Roger Corman's Fantastic Four. This movie right here is one of my favorite hidden gems of all time. It is the greatest iteration of the Fantastic Four, in my opinion, ever created. This is why I have this movie at arm's length at all time in my apartment. Okay. I always want to be.
What is that one, Zion?
This is from the 1990s. This is from the 1990s.
Okay.
Why look like into his box?
Early 90s.
Like he literally only produced that movie in order to not lose the license.
License for the, and the movie to me is so Fantastic Four. It feels so 1960s, 1970s. When I think of the Fantastic Four, this is what I think of. Like, these people look like they just came straight off of the comic books. And this is such a good Blu-ray. I mean, it even has a commentary by the director of the film, which I'm friends with on Facebook, and I'm trying to get to come on this show because I would love to interview the director of this movie, because to be quite honest with you, I've never seen any attempt at Fantastic Four after this movie has just been a complete failure and a complete letdown to me. So that's just my opinion. So as far as what they're doing now, I don't know. They never have any luck with the Fantastic Four, and they had all the luck in the world, and they didn't even want to release this. So
they gonna mess it up.
That would be awesome if you could get Roger Corman on your show.
Well,
Like,
that would be nice. Roger Corman didn't direct it; he just produced it, and it has his name in front of it. But the director is actually Ole Sassoon is the director, and he's directed a couple of horror movies and different things. But this is actually Roger. It's called Roger Corman's Fantastic Four because his production company produced it, and he was basically the money behind it. He was the one. He was the one that spent the $20 to get this movie made. So
I would tell Marcus this: since they're doing a new Fantastic Four, it's about the casting. It's just pretty much about the cast and who they're gonna cast for.
And those are safe yet boring casting choices. Like they could carry the film. Like they're both big popular names, but they're not. Neither of them are exciting. Neither of them will make me like, oh my god, I gotta go see the Fantastic Four because the Quiet Place guy's in it. Like that's not happening.
Also,
go ahead, Raya.
Oh, I was just gonna mention like Emily Blunt. Blunt just kind of like shut down the rumors, saying like, no, that was a fan casting. Superhero movies aren't really my thing. But someone else someone made another comment saying like, oh, an actor who said that denounced superhero movies as well just got cast in Moon Knight. So we can take their comments for a grain of salt, I guess.
It depends on how much money they're offered, really, to tell you the truth. Unless they have a really high standard.
How many times has Christian Bale said, if they offer me enough money, I'll suit up right now? How many times has he said that? For real?
Yeah, he said it plenty of times. Christian Bale about his money anyway. So,
I mean,
money's a powerful thing. I mean, if you're offered the right amount of money, you could do something that you don't like. I mean, if I was offered money to be in a golfing movie and golf bores me the shit, I would be in it for money.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that.
Hey, I would totally watch Caddyshack 3 with you, though. I think you could be awesome.
Happy Madison too.
Caddyshack.
You're being in Zatanna, so they obviously brought the Brinks truck and dumped the money on your front lawn. I mean, that's what's necessary to get you to play those kinds of characters, because nobody wants to be associated with that cape mess, right? I mean, that's crazy. No self-respecting actor really wants to be doing these superhero movies. That's why it always takes so much money to get them to come in and do it, because they feel like they're belittling their craft being in these films. So they're like, hey, you pay me enough money, I'll suit up right now.
Movies are taken a lot more seriously. Like than they used to be.
A little bit. I mean, it depends who you Scorsese talking shit and stuff, though. I mean, like a lot of the big elites of Hollywood, they talk down about it. Even if like they made like the greatest one ever, it would probably still get talked down about, because it's a genre film, and genre films are never respected in their time and day. They get loved and respected more as time goes on. I mean, they have a huge following now, but I think if at any point the Marvel movies are going to be seen as amazing, it'll probably be in the future or never. I don't know. I'm not sure, but
that dude Vince says that Man in the High Castle was good, Carlos. So you got to take away your comments about Man in the High Castle.
Yeah, say you're sorry, Carlos.
I mean, the thing is about Marvel movies is that I can agree with most of the fans. They're likable, they're enjoyable, they're a lot of fun, they're a lot of action. It's just that, ever since the MCU has this formula where people have to expect it to be like, oh, they have to be like Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark personality. They have to be funny. They have to make jokes. But the problem is that if you're doing it to a different character, you cannot just have the same characteristics all the time. Tex actually made a video where he talks about how much MCU films like sort of deviate from the Marvel comics, and has this similar formula because it works and it's targeted to a specific audience, which might be like the cause, which might say that it's the quote, like it ruined like Hollywood or something like that. So yeah, I can agree on that.
I'm just curious why they're so sassy.
But the reason why they're like that, to piggyback off the point, pretty much I'm going to say the same thing. I'm going to say it all the time until a lot of people get it through their head. The MCU has been done for over 10 years. People's condition is conditioned, and they are so comfortable for what it is that they know, and they have been comfortable with that, especially the general casual audience. When they see something new, it is forbidden territory for them. Example, the DCEU. Now they're starting to get into it because why? The MCU is dead until they do their fourth phase, which a lot of people are not really all up into it like that unless you're a real hardcore fan. So it's all a matter of time. Yes, the formula works, but you got people. That's the thing that people fail to realize. Okay, the DCEU was only been in fruition for 7 years. The MCU has been going now, when you count that, 15 years now. That's a long time. You gotta, the MCU started in what? Was it 07 or 08?
08.
2008.
2008. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 5-year jump. Because Man of Steel came out in 13.
Yep.
So you gotta think about that. That's a 5-year jump. So with you starting, and then at the tail end of their journey, the tail end Endgame came out in what? 18, right?
19.
So it's been in hiatus.
It's so forgettable. We can't even remember when.
Right. So
when the last movie came out.
Right. So the MCU has been in hiatus for 2 years now.
Yep.
So would it be in hiatus, and now you see all the Marvel stuff, the DC stuff coming in, now people are starting to get into DC. So a lot of people are backtracking now and been watching all the movies. They're going back. They're watching Man of Steel. They're watching BVS now. It's amazing on how many people now are watching the Ultimate Edition of BVS, and they're liking it.
Yeah.
Actually.
And it's crazy.
And
So
with that, man, I want not to cut you off, Prime, but I gotta introduce this guy, man. Cisco, he's been waiting in the back to come in, and I was waiting on a good time to introduce. I was waiting there for a good time to introduce him. Cisco, are you with us, man?
What up, y'all? What's going on?
What's good?
Oh, man.
Hey, how you doing?
What's good, man?
I just had to chime in, man, because of we've been saying this for months that eventually the shit was going to come to a head between Warner Brother executives and AT&T, and little did we know it was going to come in the form of a merger.
I know. Yeah.
I'll tell you, here's one thing real quick, and I'll jump out and I'll just listen. But, ain't shit going to change unless Emmerich, Sarnoff, and all the other toxics and Hamada are gone as well. I mean, Kilar probably didn't want to get demoted, but the other ones need to go in the clean house. Otherwise, ain't shit going to change.
Fire the WB Trinity. #.
Yeah.
I mean, for that to come into, like I said, we have to wait because they're still under contract. Right. I feel sorry for Kilar. I feel sorry for Kilar because he's just a victim of circumstance.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing. Kilar is just a victim of circumstance. And like I said about executives, I would say you can't trust executives, but I think Kilar has just been on the hush hush because for the simple fact is that he probably figured what was going on, and now it makes more sense now why Toby Emmerich was looking for another job. He knew what was about to go down. So that's the reason why he was looking for another job. And on top of that, with him having that 18 months left on his current contract, I would say this: it's a definite guarantee. Emmerich is out. Now, if Discovery is dumb enough to keep him, the only reason why they would keep him, I know people don't want to hear this, but I'm telling you the business side. The only reason why they would keep him is because he has been at Warner Brothers for over 20 years, and he has been head of New Line Cinema for 10.
Yep.
So you have to take into consideration, and at the same time, New Line Cinema under Emmerich has been highly successful. So
that's the thing, Prime. They might, and I hope this doesn't happen, but Zaslav, Mr. Zaz, I'm calling him. He may value the relationships that Emmerich has developed over the years, and I really hope that Emmerich doesn't snake his way to maintaining, his position on board this new regime. I really hope not, because he's toxic as fuck.
Yeah, he is. And I'm going to piggyback off of that on the last thing I want to say. Even though he has all that good stuff, Warner Brothers, the brand, has been tarnished. When you have top-notch actors and directors dissing you and leaving, you leave it. Christopher Nolan is gone. How you let go of Christopher Nolan? Why you let him walk? You disrespect him.
Well, if the rumors are true, my good friend Robert Meyer Burnett reported the other day that somebody that he knows that's really big in the industry told him that what's going around there right now is Toby Emmerich has made Warner Media one of the worst, most toxic places to work in the industry, period. Yeah. So they're not looking at Toby in a very positive light right now. So if that's true, Cisco, I mean, you guys are spot on. You guys are spot on.
If that's the case, and Robert does have real good sources, Toby is gone. After his 18-month contract, because you got to remember, Warner Brothers had a very, very good brand until whatever the hell is going on, and I'm going to say ego. I'm going to say egos. I'm going to say egos, and that's all I'm going to say. I try to give everybody this analogy so people can understand it and make it easy. All right? Their egos is so big. Prime example. Y'all remember the 90s Chicago Bulls?
Yeah.
And right after they won the championship?
Yeah.
And Jerry Krause or whatever saying that organizations is what win games. Well, the Bulls could have stayed together for about another year.
On the money,
but the organization decided to break that up. Why?
They thought they were the ones.
Why? Egos. Right. Egos. And this is what exactly. Remember what I said about executives and people that are at the top and that are in power. Jerry Krause told Phil Jackson at the beginning of the season, "You could go 82-0. I'm not bringing you back. You could do all that. They won the championship. They weren't going to bring him back. Jerry Krause was going to stick on that. He was going to stick on that and move away. Everybody was expendable except Michael Jordan. Why in the world would you even do that, knowing that if Michael would have stayed, which he would have, everybody else would have stayed on along with Phil? Period. It's the same thing with Warner Brothers. You can carry on and get all this stuff back together, but you have to get rid of that bad apple. Once they get rid of Emmerich, I believe with all my heart, I believe it. You get rid of Emmerich, that cancer, people will come back because that cancer is gone.
Exactly.
And once he's gone, I think they will mend stuff and be like, you know what, and get everything back in order. But, I mean, that is what I highly believe. You got to get him out of there, And again, this is my last thing I want to say. Remember, when they made the transition, I said, and I think a lot of people know what I'm going to say. All those prior executives either quit or they got fired. Who was the last one that was on the board? Toby Emmerich. So you got the old regime still from that old board still there. He got to go. You get that out. And on top of that, he's one of the top guys. So who's going to listen to Toby Emmerich? That virus and that cancer has carried on. Hamada, he's a victim of circumstance. And the only reason why Hamada is only bad is because he tried to sabotage the investigation. Not just because of what he wanted to do. He sabotaged the investigation. And Cernoff is listening to Emmerich. Instead of her doing her due diligence to get the proper information, she's just listening to Emmerich. So Emmerich is the problem.
You're telling me that the interviews where she says they're not going to continue to decide first nor the Eric, that was her words that Eric told her to do that?
Exactly. Even though she's
understandable.
on top of Emmerich, she has to listen to what the people that she's listening to on the board. Remember when I said when executives in there, when they get into a meeting, they have to come to a vote. But you have to remember, Warner Media, you got to remember there's two divisions. They're under the same umbrella. You got streaming and you have theater. Emmerich is of head of the streaming division and the theater. Okay? He's head of both. Jason Kilar is above him. But Emmerich is in control of that theater shit with Hamada. Emmerich is basically in the middle. So basically, everything got to go from the bottom and they got to go through Emmerich and then it'll go to Kilar. If Kilar never intervened, everything got to go through Emmerich. Everything got to go through Emmerich. So it's just like a middleman. Everything got to go through the middleman. You cut the middleman out, everything is going to be a little bit easier because you're doing everything yourself. Emmerich is the middleman. You cut that middleman out. Either you get him out completely or you replace it with somebody that at least doesn't have an ego and that has common sense. That's all I got to say. You can take it for what it's worth from there. But Emmerich is the problem. He got to get out of there. And we got 18 months. We got a while. 18 months. So whatever that goes on, we'll find out. And within that 18 months, either he's going to step down or they're just going to let him go. Because if they sign if they allow this man, if Discovery signs this man back on, it's a wrap. Warner Brothers is done. It got to go. So that's it. I'm done. I'm to the mouth.
Well said.
That was definitely well said, and that was definitely a mouthful, Prime. I think you need a drink after that one, bro.
I got all the answers right there. They need to hire Prime. That's what they need to do.
That's what they need to do. That's what I'm saying. Put Prime in charge of all of it.
Yeah, I mean, Prime is actually a former executive, so it makes sense.
Hashtag bring Prime. You know what I'm saying? Jesus.
I mean, you know, it is what it is. I just hope that all this stuff really comes into fruition.
You hit it on the money, though. You hit it on the money for sure.
Yeah, I just hope everything falls into fruition. I mean, it's good news because it's big news now. It's everywhere. It's on the biggest platform. This deal for this 43 billion. This is a very, very big deal. I mean, I'm looking at everything now. I'm looking at stocks. I'm looking at everything. Just business and everything. This is huge news.
Yeah.
So
I definitely think this merger, it was a smart move on the part of both the businesses to keep them stronger in this competitive landscape. You know, and regardless of whether or not they restore the Snyderverse or not, it was a good business move for both the businesses. However, even if they decide not to restore the Snyderverse, like you were saying, Emmerich and that clown posse, Trinity posse between Hamada, Sarnoff, and Emmerich, they got to go, regardless, because that toxicity and that cancer, like you said, Prime, it's going to still stay.
Yeah.
Yeah. They like you said, they're part of that old regime. They're part of that old concept of Hollywood where they're the ones getting the bragging rights for the success of their company rather than looking at the whole entirety of what they had to get them there. So here it is what it is. You're looking at guys like Emmerich, and it looks like they got all these W's under their belt, you know what I'm saying? Because they're the ones saying yes to this and yes to that and no to this, whatever. And all these successful movies that come out of it and shows and things of that nature, you know, but it's like just because they said yes doesn't mean that those movies or shows were great because of them. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Zod. Go ahead.
Okay, no. I just wanted to say before, I didn't want to cut you off, but Rhea has to go, and I just wanted to give the awesome and amazing Rhea, you know, a good send off. I love you, Rhea. Thank you for coming here tonight.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
It was good to see you again.
Good to see you again.
Bye-bye.
Hope to see you next week.
For sure. All right. Take care.
All right.
Take care.
Okay, you can go ahead now, Vega. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, that's all good. No, but it's really just piggybacking off of what Prime said. You know, it's just, you know, these guys are still there because they're the ones who are getting the credit for the success of this company when all in all it was about the whole entire team that they have built. Just like he said, you know, when you look at the Bulls, you know, it was the team that they had put together all in all, the whole organization to why they were a championship team. But when you got these execs, you know, the higher ups thinking, oh no, it's because of my decision making to why we're here and we don't need you. We don't know. It's all about, that's what's happening here. That's what's happened up to this point. When you're looking at guys like Toby Emmerich, they're looking at his 20 to 30 years or however long he's been in the industry.
25 years.
Yeah, 25, right? Okay, so they're looking at that, and then they're looking at all the movies and shows he said yes to, and the successful ones that came out of it, and somehow he's the one given the credit. But the industry has changed. Matter of fact, and not just the movie industry, just industry in general has changed, where things have to be more hands-on. The working man or the lower class of your the grunts, they're more aware of their value now. So it's like you have to change with the times. So when you're looking at higher execs like Ann Sarnoff, the smarter thing for her to do is go down the totem pole, start speaking to the people that actually are making moves on your behalf for your product, rather than just taking the word of Toby Emmerich and what he thinks and what he says, and well, because he's been here 25 years and he said yes to this and this was successful, and all these other whatever bozo ways of looking at it. But again, it's just an old way of how the industry used to work, but things are changing and they have to change with the times. You got to be more hands-on. If you're a higher up, don't think that you're so high up that you can't speak to your workers, to the people that work for you. Go talk to your your studio team, to your directing team, and whatever other teams they have. Like, just go speak to them yourself, get the numbers yourself, go do the homework yourself. Do not take the word of Toby Emmerich, because if that's the case, you're just going to keep getting snaked. He
has tools, the trade tools, right? He has his little leakers. He has those people that he works with in the trades and leaks information out to. It's pretty obvious to everyone now. I mean, did you see what Variety came out with? They trolled Keelar. That had to come from the okay from Emmerich, or they were just stupid enough to do that. Right. Completely unprofessional.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I just read the headline. I didn't even want to bother reading. After they turned,
what they do about Keelar? What they do to Keelar? What they do to Keelar? Because I didn't read it. I probably missed it.
Variety tweeted out something about him getting fired and making fun of it, pretty much.
Right. Make it what? That's why I said Keelar is he's just going to be victim of circumstance, because Warner Media is about to go bye-bye because of the merger. So, it has nothing to do with that. And they're just making fun of it because his contract is automatically just going to be terminated. They're still under contract because they're still with Warner Brothers. Okay? Mm-hmm. Warner Brothers and Warner Media are totally two different entities. So you got to, even though they're under the same umbrella, okay, well, it's not AT&T no more, but now it's Discovery. So now this is how it goes. It's Discovery and then it's Warner Brothers. That's it. Warner Media is done. It's gone. It's dead. So, and whatever people that were employed and they was making fun of it, that's some shady shit. That means a lot of people are about to lose their job are at Warner Media. So a lot of people are about to lose their job because they're a victim of circumstance. You know what I'm saying? That's not something that you laugh at. But I would say this, if whoever it is and they clean house, I really, really hope that Discovery does clean house. I really do. If they decide to clean house and they're going to do it under their regime and get everything together, because I'm going to tell you this about Discovery. Discovery is about IPs and they care about making money. I mean that. They're not about just throwing out. They don't care what it is. They just want a product out there and they're going to put it out there. AT&T had the money, but there was a telecommunication company and they just didn't know how to manage it properly. They were just bringing in people to do the job. But, they were just trying to bundle it with their product, AT&T, with their cell phones and stuff like that, with the U-verse and with the fiber optics. They were just trying to bundle it up with that to get sales and to get people more on their network. That's what that was about. But since it flopped, and it didn't flop, since it didn't meet their criteria or the way that they wanted it, so now they got to buy it out. So either way it go, I feel sorry for the people that's going to lose their job, but you never know. They might still be able to have a job within Warner. It might be something that might be somewhere else. So we don't know at this particular time and moment. But Warner Media is bye-bye. It's done. It's a wrap. HBO Max still gonna be available, but Warner Media is done. It's gone.
Yeah, because I want to say, well, like that the one dude said that they're gonna look at who stays and who goes. No, like, so I want to say some people might keep their jobs. Hopefully, and I honestly I hope Kilar's one of them because I feel like he's one of the big reasons to at least one of the people that was aware and vigilant to the whole release the Snyder Cut thing. You know what I mean? Like,
and other fans too. He was busy.
Yeah, he was constantly actually putting himself out there. You know what I mean? So like it'd be a shame really if he loses his job over this. Because really he is just a victim of circumstance when you look at just how shady Warner Brothers has been going about their business. It was a raw deal. It was just a raw deal for him, and
he won't lose his job because of Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut's successful. Because I'm gonna tell you this. I will say this: when that next investors call, well, it won't. Oh shit! Well, AT&T still have to do an investors call. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the true numbers are going to come out because these numbers, you cannot hide these numbers. It's absolutely impossible. And with the and we said this. I think a lot of us said this. Once them China numbers came out, it's a wrap. Once them numbers in China came out, it's a wrap. You can't go with U.S. and domestic numbers. The USA is late. Why? The U.S. gets everything. For example, see, the big markets are going to get stuff quick. When you get to those little towns or the medium-sized cities and stuff like that, for instance, I'm in Cleveland. Yes, we got a lot of shit, and we get a lot of shit, but the people that live here is late as fuck. And when I mean they late. There's people now, they didn't even know about the Snyder Cut. They knowing about the Snyder Cut now.
Wow.
That's how late they are. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're late. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. People, you got to look at other areas of the United States. Even though the United States gets stuff first, they're late. They're late. If it's not for the big cities, you got to, if count the big cities out, LA, Chicago, New York, Houston, them cities. Count them out. Get them out the way. They got millions. That's where a lot of profit come in. You got to worry about all these other states and other cities and stuff like that, or just other areas. And you can look at that. They gonna get shit late. I'm talking about real late. And it's not like it's not out. For instance, I watched Army of the Dead on the day it came out. People didn't start watching Army of the Dead until what? Today? And it's about to drop on Netflix on Friday. So I'm like, it's been out in theaters for a minute. That's what I'm saying. Up here, I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm in a major city. So I'm like, they're late. You say what?
I said Friday's gonna kick ass.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to look for what it's worth, man. People in the United States, just certain markets, they're gonna do stuff quick and early. But in the United States, things are late. People do not watch a lot of stuff when it first come out. It's amazing on how the stats are and how you look at it. So it is crazy when you think about it. So you got to look for what it's worth. And that's why I said these numbers are not going to be fabricated. You can't hide them. Now all the numbers are really totaling up now and they're coming in. So when that next investors call come out, these are going to be some ridiculous numbers. When you beat out Endgame in China and streaming by what, 10 million? Am I right? Is it 10 million or 10,000?
Yeah.
Was it 10 million?
10 million.
I think it's 10, yeah.
Yeah,
10 million?
I think
10
so.
million? Yeah, that's streaming. That's not even a movie. This is streaming. Imagine if this shit was in the theater.
Oh
yeah.
Opportunity lost.
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. There is money that's on the table. So if people are starting to ramp up for it now,
damn shame too, because they would have learned that people would actually sit and watch a 4.5 hour long movie if it was good and they put it out. Because like Hollywood needs to learn that longer movies can be good if you make them good. And I think that the Snyder Cut would have been a prime example of that. That is a damn shame that didn't get at least a limited run to try to give that argument some legs.
Absolutely.
yeah, but there's a lot of people that they
could have tossed
Well, even if not, they could have done a two-parter, one part in in theaters and 3 months later the other part, and then release it as a whole later on a hard copy?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Like
you
they
can.
do
I
for
mean, but
Deathly
you know, there's a
Hallows
lot of
or
money that comes into that, and they're not going to try and
Yeah.
spend extra money. So you
Well,
gotta
they
look at
spend
it for
more
what
than
it's worth.
justice.
Yeah, but just put it like this: we got it, but you can't hide the numbers. It's coming. So
Right.
all I
Oh,
can
yeah.
say is that put it like this: smart business people taking their egos aside and looking at a profit, and they look at the numbers and they look at the demand. Believe me, if Discovery does the right thing, which I feel that they will, because they're known, like I say, Discovery is about IPs. They care about products. They care about putting out content. That's what they want. They want to make sure that it's like a truck driver.
Hold on, from Marco. Are you snorting something? Are you okay, man?
Oh no, I'm just scouring through minifigures. I'm actually just.
Yeah, those are minifigure sounds.
Sounded like you were.
Zod, you need to play some Legos. Zod, what are you doing, bro?
Just the torso section.
I mean, I just heard like snorting sounds, and I'm like, dude, are you like? Because all I saw was your face was down, and you were like,
are you guys a fan of Lego ASMR?
Wait, I'm a fan of Lego. What's ASMR? Is that something rated?
Oh, it's sort of like you don't
know what ASMR is?
No.
Yeah, it's pleasing
It's-
sound.
it-
It's for
it's-
people to listen to, like people making all kinds of different noises with different stuff, and it's supposed to be therapeutic.
Kind of like how
do
people listen to rain.
It's a trend. It's not really a trend. It's like it's a genre of YouTube video where people
so was it
would
meant
do.
to sound like you were snorting cocaine on a live stream?
That's how it hit you.
You'd be surprised about the ASMR content there is. Like this ASMR content for people eating. Like, that's what some mukbangs
like
are.
mukbangs.
Don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. I've seen one of those videos. Oh my God.
But then there's also the more kind of like reasonable ASMR, like coffee ambiance, coffee or store ambiance, or rain is one of them. Nature sounds, stuff like that.
And Legos was one of them in there, huh?
I could listen to that noise that the kid was making. Like that sounded pretty good. Like
I think there's one for like keyboard typing, or it's like where you have the keyboards to make the sound with the chiclet keys.
I just didn't want to be
sounds.
That's why I was asking.
Not
I'm
legal.
like, what are you?
You got an office lady kink,
Or
man. You got the keyboard earborn.
Yeah.
All about
That's
them.
what I should say. Not legal.
All about them secretaries.
I mean, is that even legal to snort cocaine on a YouTube?
On the YouTube,
I mean, can you even do that?
No, you get banned. I've had friends that got caught doing dab hits, and it's legal in their state, and they got their stream shut down. So.
The actual factuals. Is it illegal to snort cocaine on a YouTube stream?
Yeah, it is.
We gotta know, because that's what it's.
You should know.
It's illegal, man. It's illegal. You can't do it. You can't do it. You know what I mean? You can't do it, man.
Okay, well, I'm sorry then. I apologize, Marco, because that's
It's
what
okay,
that's
it's
what it
okay.
sounded like, man. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry
they
if I
get ZodWriter
interrupted.
banned.
I'll just mute it once I do that. Oh, and I know this is off topic, but ever since Prime's speech about all the executive stuff, I've been thinking of making like a short film called Studio Mandate, where I would take inspiration from like the Justice League investigation and situation of how Zack Snyder gone through, like how the studio's meddling and like something like that. I'll take inspiration out of as a short film on YouTube. I thought it would be an interesting concept.
It's a lot of research on that, man. You just gotta
animation style short film. That'd be great.
And Prime, you could actually help me out, like considering that you used to be like an executive. Am I correct? I mean,
no. I've been in executive meetings. With me being because I work for EA. So with me working for EA, and I am a producer.
I see.
I'm a non-producer right now because NBA Live is in hiatus, but that's either here nor there.
I see. So you're not.
Yeah, but I'm still a game changer. I'm still an influencer. So, but
you're influencing right now, bro.
Yeah. So my thing is that y'all just have no idea the shit that you hear. Like, certain things I can't say because of NDAs, but at the same time, you'll be amazed on certain things that be said.
Yeah.
Some things I heard on those casting meetings too with producers and stuff. I can't say stuff too either on NDAs, but just when you hear the logic, it's a different world.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's like, and the way their mindset is, it's like, but executives, again, like I say, okay, they are not in reality. They are not in tune with their audience at all. They're not, and they're never going to be. They don't care. All right, because anything that's good gets kept on the shelf. They don't even look at the shelf. They leave it. Okay, they don't. The stuff that's on the shelf is good, but they'll go in these dingy boxes and shit and pull out some dingy shit and try to sell you it. But all the good shit they'll leave on the shelf. The people want. No, we ain't gonna give them all this candy and this Kool-Aid and all this cake. We ain't gonna give them that. We gonna give them the garbage. We gonna give them the scraps. We gonna give them the bones. That's what we gonna give them and make money. You gotta look at it like that. That's what they're gonna do. And what they'll do is that they will take those scraps, put it in a recycle bin, recycle it, make it look good to make you think that it's new. And it's not.
So
you gotta look at it like that.
Do what's easy.
So hey, it is what it is. It's just that's just how certain business is.
I mean, all these execs you guys hate. I mean, they don't even see the films as art. They don't care about it in that aspect. It is product to be moved and money that they could make, and they think that cutting it down and making something bright and colorful with stupid jokes in it, they'll move people in and out. That'll make more money than a 4.5 hour long movie. So they're going to shove that out, and they just do not understand the idea of the film being art, which most film fans want to see a film that is a piece of art.
Right.
So there's a huge disconnect between these people that are supposedly making what we want and their understanding of what we want. And and I don't even understand how we even try to get on the same parallel with them, because they've gone even more bizarre with, because like he's saying, they don't even try to let people come up with new shit anymore. They're like, no, figure something out from the 80s that was cool, the kids liked, and put some minorities in it and have a good time.
Yep, a twist. Put a twist to it. And it's crazy on the mindset. You know what I mean? It is crazy. But you have to fail to realize this too, is that, see, we're fans. We know what we want, right?
Right.
They care about that general casual audience. They don't know shit. So they can just give them anything. As long as they can laugh and they purchase that ticket, that's all that matters. If we can get them to laugh and we keep them engaged for about an hour and a half, that's what they'll do.
Question.
They're trying to spend the less amount of money and gain a profit. Okay? That's just like believe. I'm gonna put it to you like this, man. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna shut up. I think everybody on this panel will be. If Justice League made $1 billion, if it made $1 billion, they would not even put the Snyder Cut out, even if we asked for it. If it made $1 billion, it would not, and I quote, it would not even see the day. Even the much better picture in an inferior version would have did better. That's all they would have cared about. That's all they was looking at. They were just looking at something to get a quick money grab. For instance, Suicide Squad. We know the real version wasn't out in the movie, but it exceeded expectations. It made a lot of money. You see what I'm saying? They didn't think that Suicide Squad was going to make over 700 million. They didn't think that. If I'm not mistaken, they thought it was only going to make 400 million. Maybe a little less.
Right.
It made 700 million. And that was something that they interfered with. But what they failed to realize was that it was already marketed and what people was already anticipating to see. Right. And it probably would have got $1 billion if they didn't fuck with it.
Yeah.
So because of the word of mouth. So
Drew.
Hey, what's going on?
It is what it is, man. You have to, people. You gotta look at for what the business side is. The business side is grimy, it's messed up, but it is what it is. It's the truth, and that's just the way that it is. People don't like talking about it because they don't want to hear it, because people want to feel good. Hey, I don't care about you feeling good. I care about the facts. I care about the stuff.
Forget your
that's gonna make you
feelings.
think.
We got the actual factuals on this show.
Exactly.
Well, I like you, Prime.
That's why we.
Well,
That's what I say. When I bring Prime in here because I know Prime is going to give us the straight dope. He's not going to give us no BS. and that's what that's what we need more of, because you get a lot of these people that do all these live streams, teasing all this stuff, confirming all kinds of stuff that they don't know. They don't know nothing, and they don't know for a fact that, you know, they're going to get this, they're going to do that. They live off of hopium. But when you have people like Prime in the corner, you get the reality, you get the truth, and you sit there, and then your eyes get open, and you say, "Okay, I got it."
So basically, Prime is Matt Jarbo, but not giving up.
Yeah. No way. Well, Matt Jarbo was also someone who tries to disprove that the Snyderverse is happening. So, like, that's kind of
now he's saying it's dead.
Yeah. Well, that's my new hashtag, prove Matt Jarbo wrong. Which I like Matt Jarbo a lot.
Well, here's the thing: the CEO of Discovery, he actually looks like he cares for DC and the Wyatt universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's something Prime that.
Wait, Cisco, you had something you wanted to add?
I was going to add regarding what Prime, just to piggyback off that regarding this whole insane clown posse executives of Warner Brothers. You know, the other big mistake that they're doing, that they've done for the last years, is talk down to their fan base and troll them and insult them. You know, I used to work in radio and TV, you know, in college and interning and stuff like that. And one thing you don't do when it comes to public relations or anything like that and communications, you don't talk down or insult your main audience or fan base. Okay.
Exactly.
You may not agree to them or something like that, right? That's fine. But you don't talk down to them publicly, especially, or insult them, because they're your main consumers. They're your main fan base. And now in this day and age, social media, they got called out and all that bullshit the last year. We were all over that. Okay. And that's one thing they can't do anymore. This isn't 5-10 years ago. You know, this is the social media age. So they get called out on bullshit on social media real quick, like we just did. And that won't fly. When they start talking down to us and insulting us and trolling us, we call them out on the bullshit, and they don't like that.
No, they don't. They don't like being called out, and that's why they're taking. That's one of the main reasons why they're taking their wrath out, because this is new to them. They've never been held to such accountability by a fan base in the way that they're being held. I mean, they're being raked over the coals, and they've got nobody to blame for it but themselves. I mean, when you do the most inconceivable, dumbest possible things that you can do, and Prime, all the stuff you've been saying, it sounds like this is just normal everyday practice, and these studios don't like change. They don't like the way things have gotten to the point where now they have to kind of change the way they're doing things, because now the fans have more control than they believe that they should have. And on that note, I want to give a special send off to good Lord Koj right here, man. He's saying he got to go. Thank you so much.
All right,
Koj. Great show last night, man. Great show last night, dude.
Hey, I'm glad you saw it.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much for being here as always, Koj.
Great seeing you, Koj.
Hope to see you next week, brother.
Hey, the premiere up
I want that box set.
Yeah.
Much love, everybody. We got
first, this, man. Much love, bro.
All right.
Oh, and
what you were saying about the executive thing and what they don't care. I mean, it's true. I mean, you just have to take it for what it's worth. They want to stick to what they, what is going to make money, and what people is again, they don't listen to what people. They listen to what made money prior. And the problem with society and a lot of people in the general casual audience, they so stuck on nostalgia, and they so stuck on that shit. It's like, I mean, have you ever heard the word evolution? Things are wrong.
We're living. I said this before, though. We're living in the most nostalgic time period ever.
Yeah,
it's all about nostalgia. That's all it is, and they know. And when they know that they can sell you nostalgia, which is basically just a bunch of broken bones in a bag, and make a profit, they're gonna do that.
Yeah, I just spent $30 on a Skeletor figure, so yeah, I'm
Oh,
guilty.
word.
Yeah,
See, but you also got to remember this too. See, it's a difference between providing something to try to make it new to the opposed to something that was already done and something that was produced that is rare. So it's a very, very big difference. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, if, I'm a big Optimus Prime dude. So with me having Optimus Prime, if I so happen to find, which I could, but it'll be thousands of dollars, if I so happen to see a G1 Optimus Prime in mint condition, I'm going to freak the fuck out.
Dude, it would be great to have, but I just got the new version based off of the movie that they put out. It's plastic, but man, it is the best, most articulate, and best looking Optimus Prime figure I've ever had. And I've had
You mean the Michael Bay Transformers?
No, this is from the animated film. This is like
before
he got
G1.
snubbed.
Yeah, there's a big statue one that I have on hold, and I've already.
I wouldn't buy the Bayformers figure, man.
No. There is. I'll put a picture up on my Twitter so y'all know exactly which one that I ordered, and I'm waiting for it to come in. It's on back order, but it's big. I paid $250 for it, but it's a big Optimus Prime real life figure. And
now is it die cast? Is it die cast metal?
Yep, it's die cast. Yep.
I knew it.
Yep.
I knew it because I was looking at a Voltron like that. Because as a kid, I had the Voltron, and they were all die cast metal, and you put them together to make the. I saw one of those on eBay, and I was like, man, $480. I don't know, man. That's a little bit much.
How tall was it? How tall was it when it's formed together?
It was pretty tall and pretty heavy too, man. I don't remember when I was a kid. I had everything. I had the toughest time trying to find the Black Lion.
Okay, you want to talk toys? One time, a long time ago, I got this pretty cool Spider-Man toy, and it was during the time the original film came out in 2002.
I mean,
here it is right here. I'll let y'all see.
Is that the whole story?
Well, I mean, well, actually, the reason why I got it because at the time I was already big in Spider-Man, and I thought it was really cool how he can he looked like this.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was pretty cool.
Cool.
I think you know what I'm talking about, Zod. I'll send it to you if you want to share it to people and y'all see what it looked like. This bitch is badass. When you see it, I send it to your Twitter, Zod.
All right, man. I'll take a look. I don't know. I don't know if I can share it though, because I'm using Mozilla to do the stream, and it doesn't let me share the screen unless I'm using Google Chrome. So I don't know if it'll let me share.
Wait, you're not using Chrome?
You might be able to do it.
I could try. Hold on, let me.
But you ain't kidding about that nostalgia, man. Like, it's gotten crazy too. They brought back Walker Texas Ranger. They got the guy that played Sam from Supernatural as like the new Walker Texas Ranger, which is weird. Like, who is nostalgic for that?
That's the one you got, Prime, for real?
Yep.
That's what you got?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm about to.
And do you want to know something about nostalgia? I mean, they're bringing back Ghostbusters, the original version, as a sequel. They're bringing back old actors to reprise their superhero roles.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to be a downer, but I gotta go. It's really late, and it's been real fun. But
right,
it's good to hear from you, Carlos. Man, take it easy.
Yeah, sorry, I was on a bit of a hiatus for the last few weeks.
You've been busting your ass, kid, dude. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah,
you should be able to share it from Twitter, Zod.
I'm actually gonna do that right now. I'm gonna try to share it right now.
Yeah, so y'all can actually see what I got, man. And when I saw it, I was like, nope, it's bought.
Well, you got a whole closet.
Zod, see it. It's beast, ain't it?
It looks beautiful. I can understand why, as a fan of this stuff, you would want to do that.
Well, I actually got to get going too. I have to go to bed on my doctor's appointment tomorrow.
That.
So thanks for having me on.
Yeah, show him the gun. Show him the gun. Show him in the pose, and you can move it and all that. Show the gun.
Oh, you can articulate it? Sweet.
Yeah, it come with his optic blaster, yeah, and it come with roller too.
Nice. So you gotta love the little extras like roller, man.
That's
Wait till they see the gun pictures. I show them that.
The gun is pretty crazy here.
Yo, that looks crazy.
That looks dope. Let's get let me see the other.
I wish I still had all those old school Transformers figures.
Once I saw it, I was like, it's a wrap. I just said, here, take my money.
Check out this kind of toys I found. It's a company called Hot Toys, and they make pretty neat replicas of famous characters from movies and TV shows.
Yeah, I said, take my money, and I was waiting for it. It's on back order. It's sold out quickly.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, people actually, and I'm just saying, it's diecast. You can move them around and stuff like that. They got all this parts. It's all in full detail. And I got more pictures, but those are just those two. But the one with the gun and the pose, y'all see that. Y'all gonna be like, God damn. I'm gonna be like, when y'all see, because it's staying like
that one now.
Yeah, it's like how tall is it? They say it's like it's like 3 feet tall.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's big. Yeah. Yeah, when y'all see the gun pose, you're gonna be like, yeah. And y'all see, and there's other ones too. It shows the back, got the back pose where it shows in detail, and then his chest. They got one with his chest where he has the matrix inside his chest.
Sick.
Yeah, but the gun pose is off the hook.
So yeah, right here.
That 86 Transformers movie is still one of the best. I love it to this day.
Oh yeah, the 86 is number one. Don't get me wrong. When it comes out to Transformer movies, I'm a Transformer head. Transformers is number one for me. It's 86 and then the first Bay movie. I like all the Bay movies. Everybody don't like them. I'm a Transformer dude.
You like
I like
Age
them
of
all.
Extinction?
But 86, you cannot. I don't care what nobody say. The original movie is the shit.
Yeah.
So, hey,
Tell all R1.
Yes,
hey, I'm out. Hey, thanks for having me on, Zod. I'll catch
All
you
right,
guys
man. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for being here, Cisco. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All weep, Grana weep, Ninny bomb.
Catch you guys on the
What?
flip.
For sure.
there you go.
It's from the Transformers movie.
Yo, that is crazy.
Damn.
Hey,
That.
go crazy. Go crazy.
Yeah, now y'all see the reason why I went nuts.
Right.
So you got this one, Prime.
Yep. Yes, I do. Yep. Just wait for it to come.
So Prime, I bet you think that this is how Optimus Prime should look.
Prime should look like that, period.
Yep.
There's so many versions of it or whatever, but it's like, all I can say is this, I will be, because I know it's going to be coming soon, but when Peter Cullen passed, I'm really going to be sad because he plays the voice of Prime. He's been playing the voice of Prime since it started. So, that's going to hurt me more than anything because people try to emulate his voice. And I'm like, that's not Peter Cullen, bro.
Right.
Yeah, they all try to do that.
Yeah, I mean, he was ever present in our childhoods too. I mean, he narrated Voltron, like he was all over the cartoons.
Yeah.
Him and Peter Welker, the Cobra Commander guy, yeah, they did like almost all the voices when we were kids.
Peter Cullen, I mean, he did Optimus Prime in the Michael Bay movies.
Yeah. See, my thing is that damn, what's his name, man? It's like
Wes
how
Walker.
can I say it? It's like no. I'm trying to think of the guy's name that plays Starscream and Cobra Commander. I'm trying to think of his name.
In the Michael Bay Transformers or the original?
No, the original.
Oh, okay.
Original. It's kind of something. It'll come to me in a minute. But if you think about all the Starscreams after that, they try to keep Starscream's voice the same. They try to keep Starscream's voice as the same as they can, and you cannot emulate his voice. From the '84.
Yeah, the actor's name is Chris Latta.
Chris Latta. That's it, Chris Latta. So yeah, Chris Latta. So Chris Latta, once he passed, they try to emulate his voice on every single version of Starscream now.
Hold on. Hey guys. Koozie Cat is saying Joe Manganiello retweet a fan-made Batfleck trailer.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. KoozyCast, I seen your DM, but I don't know if I could share this because I don't want us to the
Copyright
stream to
strike.
well, not only that, I just don't want them I don't care about a copyright strike. I just don't want them to take the stream down. Because that's what they do. Whenever
YouTube had a
do
power
something,
outage earlier
Warner
today.
Brothers, they take your stream down. That's
Right.
what I'm afraid of. But I would love to do that though, KoozyCast. I would love to react to that. That would be awesome. But like I said, they're really strict about that stuff, and they've stopped my streams before for a lot less. So I'd be kind of nervous to do something.
Speaking
like
of
that
Batman,
right now.
did you see the trailer for the anime film, The Long Halloween?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
I've seen
I
that.
seen
For
that.
that.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, as long as they don't jack it up.
Well, okay. Well, I know that Jensen Ackles is voicing Batman.
Really, that's cool. I liked him as the Red Hood in the Under the Red Hood movie. So
Yeah, and Jared Padalecki's
Once again, in case you missed it, here's Optimus Prime.
Well, hey, who's Paladecki playing?
Two-Face.
No shit, they got both the Winchester boys up in the movie. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like Supernatural.
And the
so.
Joker's in it, and it's Troy Baker.
Nice.
And KoozyCast says here, WB won't exist anymore. Yeah, hopefully not. And then he says Discovery should boot the Three Stooges and their pet snake. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. Hopefully that happens. And we want to welcome Ryan to the stream. What's up, Ryan? How you doing?
What's
man?
up?
What's going on, Ryan?
What's your take on all this stuff, Ryan?
It's crazy. Discovery have this much money.
Well, a lot of that has to do with
Honey Boo Boo
documentaries and all that crazy stuff that they do. Discovery is huge.
Yeah, don't they own Dr. Phil and all that stuff?
They
like
own
that?
everything big, and it's a huge merger. I mean, it's no small feat.
No.
That's the
Well, I
thing.
mean, I'm seeing people making jokes on saying like Batman on the cooking channel.
Oh, of course.
That would be cool.
Why not?
Yeah, have Ben Affleck as Batman teaching you how to make New England clam chowder. Like that sells itself. I'd watch the hell out of that.
I remember when Matt Jarbo talked about Discovery thing, he did give a cool idea of how, like saying like a Batman TV series showing like Kevin Conroy as Batman, like going over old cases, showing like how I stopped Black Mask and all that stuff. That'd be pretty cool to see.
Hey, why not?
The Honey Boo Boo money
Why not?
is legit.
Kevin Conroy.
Honey Boo Boo.
The Honey Boo Boo money is legit, straight up.
Yeah, it is.
They made a lot of money off of that, dude. It's funny, but it's true. Shark Week, man. I made that joke earlier, but it's true, man. I watched it for years.
Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of Batfleck, I've been hearing stuff. I don't know if it's true or not. That giving Batfleck like an Arkham Knight series.
I've heard about that on Twitter. And I know this might be a stretch, but I could imagine that being freaking legit.
Is that basically the Arkham Knight video game, but with
Well,
Batfleck?
if they were to make it, it would take elements from the Arkham Knight video game.
Yeah.
Wasn't that always originally the plan for his movie?
If it wasn't, it should have been. That sounds awesome.
Well, here's the thing. The original plan was with Deathstroke and him being trapped in Arkham Asylum.
And by the way, they were going to replicate that from the Arkham Origins.
KoozyCast is pointing out that
trailer.
that's from We Got This Covered. So whenever something comes from We Got This Covered, you have to take it with a severe grain of salt because a lot of times they don't know what the hell they're talking about. So hopefully, I mean, now it could be true because there are some people that I know really well that have been talking about that on their live streams. So it's possible that may be true, that Arkham thing, because that's not the only place. I personally, KoozyCast, I haven't seen the Arkham thing on We Got This Covered, but I'm not surprised that they reported on it. But I've actually heard it from some more credible sources than that, so it's possible that there might be some truth to it. But who knows? I mean, We Got This Covered. They basically rip off all kinds of things that they hear and just throw it out, and sometimes they just straight up make up.
Hey,
stuff.
I found something that talks about it. It says that it's been rumored that Batman Arkham Knight series is currently being discussed for Ben Affleck.
Yeah, well, I mean that'd be cool. I mean it would be cool.
It says that
Small
the
screen.
Arkham.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if small screen, but Mikey Sutton and Sil Abdul, they've been talking about it a lot too. They kind of Mikey Sutton kind of hinted about it the other day that there's some talk about Affleck coming back
Right
to do
here
an
it says
Arkham
that
series. So
there
it's
talks to
possible.
adapt the Batman
Right.
Arkham Knight video game into a series for Ben Affleck to star in.
See, but that's where the misconception is, though. It wouldn't be an adaptation of the video game. They would take elements from the video game and use it in the storyline, but it would be its own original storyline thing.
Exactly.
It would be whatever Ben Affleck came up with, basically.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
but I think
speaking
Ben
of-
Affleck. But I think Ben Affleck on the cooking channel would be awesome. I think
He'd probably be like,
that'd
"Hey everyone, I'm Batman. Today I'm gonna make a bat souffle."
That, or let's see how he makes his house. You know what I'm saying? Like HD.
Oh, how he makes Wayne Manor.
Yeah, you can
That-
keep. You
that
can
reminds
keep
me,
the house.
with the whole
Even
Discovery
Pro.
merger thing, apparently that resulted in Jason Collar leaving.
Yep. You're exactly right. And let's see who else we can add to this.
Hello,
stream.
Mr.
What's
Kuzi.
going on?
Hey guys, what's up?
What's up, man?
Nothing
Hey.
much, just enjoying the conversation. Go on.
First time I actually
Oh
hear
yeah,
you.
it's been going on forever, man. We've been going for quite some time. We've been going for almost 3 hours, and thanks to YouTube's hiccups, I think most of the audience didn't get to see the first half
That's
of the
far.
the
Yeah, no,
stream.
we did some real
Yeah, but we're
Shakespearean
almost-
shit when it was down. So
Yeah,
but
I
we're
heard that
almost
the
close to the ZodWriter cut, so I'm all up for it.
because I found out that the ouster
Yeah,
thing, it happened all across the
you guys are
US.
gonna get the ZodWriter cut. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go in and
Yeah, 4 hours plus,
re-upload this and in all its glory for everybody to check out, because we've had so many great people on this panel tonight. It's gonna be hard for me to list them all when I go in and do my tweet
me.
about what an
yeah, it's
awesome
gonna be
panel
like
this
almost
was.
15, right, dude? Like
Everybody.
15 people been on here. That's insane.
Oh God, it's been incredible, and I'm like, oh my God, Prime was doing all that educating, and then Prime,
Yeah,
Did he leave?
I guess
Yeah,
he
he
had
did.
to bail because
Oh, I didn't notice, but it has gotten quiet in here. I was wondering what was up with that, but man, bye
you wanna know
Prime.
something funny?
So I didn't notice
Um,
earlier.
Apparently,
Sorry, we didn't know something.
you
Hey,
want something,
listen,
guys?
I'm
Apparently,
gonna have to mention Prime and the fact that he's delivered on the actual factuals once again, because that's exactly what he does. It's
and you
incredible.
want to know something funny? Apparently, Jarbo is gonna be going live today. He's gonna talk about how today on Twitter there was a fake page from the Batman script leak that's making its way around. Some people believing it's real, but it's really not.
I can't stand Jarbo, man. I really can't stand Jarbo.
Seriously? Why?
Oh man, he goes around contradicting everything that we try to do every now and then. Like every time we're doing Twitter and whatnot, we're doing the hashtags. He goes
we
around
call
saying,
him. Well, Kuzi, we call him the realist.
Right. But then again, at the same time, right now, since everything is fractured, everybody is like, it's not as it was when we did the movement for the Snyder Cut. And I'm here,
Yeah.
I'm just, Zod has known me for a very long time before we even, got together on Twitter. I met up with Zod in Vero and other places. And we've talked over this for a very long time. And
Oh yeah,
right now-
you came on the ZodWriter show with me before I started doing it on
twice.
YouTube. I mean, we had a couple of appearances from you, and yeah, we had a number of talks about this stuff. And honestly, it's really, I mean, when you bring up a great point when you talk about how fractured things are. That's a wonderful topic, because it really is not the same battle that it was when we were going for
it's like there's this group of people who made it to the first Snyder Con, and they got to have straightforward access to Zach, which is great. I'm happy for everyone who lives in America and got to meet Zach and there are a lot of people who are going to the Army of the Dead, show premieres that are happening, and everyone's getting to meet Zach, and everyone's having a great time. And there are lots of people that you saw. I saw a video yesterday as well that this guy who went with his own homemade Restore the Snyderverse, like a little how you say
Prime
that?
just sent me a DM on Twitter. For anybody, if you'd like, I can post the link on where you can order that Optimus Prime. If
oh my God, he's not getting over that toy, huh?
Buying one.
That'd be cool.
It's about $200 over at Big Bad Toy Store.
So hey guys,
it's not that bad actually.
I want to read to you real quick that made me laugh. It's that
wait, hold on, Andrew. Okay, so continue, Kuzicast. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, that's fine. It's always great to hear Prime doing his ninja stuff all over the internet. So that's all cool. So I was saying, somebody took a Restore the Snyderverse card out, and even Zach and Debbie appreciated that, and everyone in the hall appreciated that. And it's all good, but like I said, some of us are trying to keep the spirit of the fight alive to restore the Snyderverse, but the people that we need to actually support us, they don't. They take credit for things that are not detriment to the movement and shit. So it's really heartbreaking. You see a lot of these people in the forefront who have access to Zach, and they're not making as much noise as the other people are. There was these Twitter trending events you guys saw. We broke that, the highest trending event, even more than Avengers Endgame and whatnot. We broke all that, but it would have been so much more if everybody got into it, right? But right now, all I see is that everyone, all the big YouTube channels, from you name it, from Chris Wong to a lot of people, just because they want 5 minutes to have a message or something to do with Zach, they're willing to just kiss ass, and it's just heartbreaking. That's how I see it.
It's like what we always talk about. It's like that phrase that Pilly Swain from Go Deep is made famous. That we all have T-shirts called Zach Crack. That's what it is. And let's be honest. Zach Crack is something that is real and legitimate. It's a sickness. It's a freaking disease. Listen, if you get into this, if you get into doing what we're doing here with these live streams, and your whole purpose for doing it is getting to have 5 minutes on a Zoom call with Zack Snyder, get the hell out of here. You have no business even being here if that's what you're doing. If that's all you want is access to Zack Snyder, why are you here? What is your purpose in life? You're a loser.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, when all is said and done, Zach is a creative. He's a creative genius. He's a great, from everything that I know of, he's a great person. He's wonderful. He's caring. But Zach can't go on everybody's live stream. He can't appear on every single YouTube channel to make everybody happy. So when Zach graces you with the opportunity to come on your stream and talks to you, and you should be humble, and you should be grateful, and you should be thankful that you had Zack Snyder. But there's certain people, Kuzicast, that have gotten access to Zack Snyder on the regular, and let's be frank, they do and put out crap content, and they think that their crap doesn't stink. And those are the people that need to be called out. And I'm with you on that 1,000%. And I'm not going to mention any names because I'm out of that. I don't get involved with that. I kind of said my piece on that a long time ago, and I swore I would never bring these people up again as long as I live, because it's not worth it. But the truth is, we know who they are. We all know who they are. And I personally have no desire to even consider it. I sit here and think like this. I'm like, yeah, it'd be cool to have Zack Snyder on the ZodWriter show. But do you know what would happen if I had Zack Snyder for 5 minutes? It would be some tough questions. It would be some tough stuff. You think if I had Zack Snyder for 5 minutes, I would waste my time asking him stupid questions.
You don't want your rant?
I mean, come on. It's like you get Zack Snyder, your views shouldn't be trash. Your numbers should be in the millions. And the fact that you're barely able to crack a couple thousand views when you have Zack Snyder on your channel says a lot about who you are. You know what it says? It says that you're garbage. That's what it says. It says that nobody watches you, and the only reason they bothered watching you that night is because Zack Snyder was on your stream.
Yeah.
I mean, give me a break. It's ridiculous. That's why
even with my YouTube channel, like, you know, Zod knows this. You know, we talked about this when he did it on PSN Radio. That I even started my channel, you know, to talk to everyone in the community. But then when I saw the whole community, especially people who have direct access to Zack, just going crazy for that Zack crack, I lost all, like, you know, the communal, you know, need to communicate with everyone. I lost all that. So that's why my channel is right now, I just, you know, I don't bother anymore because everybody has, you know, camps. Everybody's
you're 1000% right, Kuzi. And I'm telling you, man, I've gotten to the point where I just look at everybody like, you know, when you go to a zoo and you walk around a public zoo and you just see, oh, look at the animals. Oh, look at the monkeys throwing their crap at each other. That's what it's like. That's exactly what it's like. It's like a zoo exhibition. They're all eating each other alive for their 5 minutes of fame with Zack Snyder, and it doesn't make any sense because when all is said and done, you have to have content that goes beyond the Snyderverse. You have to have something to talk about besides the Snyderverse. Some of the best live streams I think I've ever done have had absolutely nothing to do with the Snyderverse. And I sit here and I say this all the time. It's like if I'm in this for celebrities, I'm out of here. Because once you start putting all of your eggs in one basket and you start focusing your goals only on, you know, attracting people because they're famous and
I think that's the term people
clout.
use.
Well, however you ever want to say it. But listen, I look at people like that and I feel sorry for them. And two words come to mind at the end of the day when it's all said and done. Years from now, you know what? 2 words I think of.
What?
OnlyFans. Those are the 2 words I think of because that's all that there is beyond that. If you don't have anything going on, what are you going to do what are you going to have to sustain yourself? Because nobody's watching your channels for you. Nobody cares about you. I don't care how many subscribers I get. If you like me and you want to see my content, you'll subscribe to my channel. If you don't, that's fine. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I'm not trying to win friends. I'm trying to say what I have to say. I'm trying to be honest. I'm trying to be truthful about how I feel. And all the people that come on my streams, I love them because they all come on because they want to be around me. They want to talk to me and they want to share their feelings with me. And I feel humble and love that so much. But you don't see me out there sticking my hand out saying, oh, please, Zack Snyder, come on my show. Please promote me. Please promote me so that I can have Zack Snyder on my show. Yeah. Oh, please. People with initials in your name, please come along. Please bless me with Zack Snyder so that I can interview him for 6 minutes on the ZodWriter show. Please, I don't care about any of that. That is so, to me, that is so petty. You know what? I'll tell you something else, Kuzi Cast. I always put the link to my show in the description. So anybody who wants to jump on can jump on. So if Zack Snyder watches the ZodWriter show on YouTube one day and decides, hey, I want to jump on and tell this idiot how I feel, he can jump on. Zack is I'm willing to let Zack on my show, but I'm not one of those guys that's going to be like begging people, oh, can I have access to Zack? Oh, you guys are beautiful. Give me a break.
Exactly.
I'm like this. This is one thing. I got blacklisted when I defended Pilly Swain. When I decided to go deep, I got
Yeah.
blacklisted. And you know
Yeah.
what? I don't care about that because you know what? Pilly's a good dude. I know I could trust when I go to Pilly and I tell him something and he tells me something, I know I can take it to the bank because he's legit. He's a legit dude. Just like all of you here on the panel, you guys are all legit people. Nobody that I deal with is fake. Nobody that I deal with, pretends to be something they're not and is in it just for clout purposes. So I'm with you, Koozie Cast, and everybody watching. I'm not sorry for ranting because honestly, it needed to be said, and people and sometimes you need to hear it. It's like Prime with the actual factuals. He breaks it down from a corporate standpoint. I'm breaking it down from a personal, realistic standpoint. That's what it is. It's how you
Garbo,
feel. It's
though,
where your
by the
mind
way.
is. Oh, Jarbo? Oh,
Yeah, who is that? I don't even know.
Jarbo. He's another YouTube guy. He's on YouTube. I don't know.
Maybe just made it to me. Oh well.
maybe we'll bring him on one of these days because he's he's an interesting guy. He's a bit controversial. I know Koozie Cast, you don't really like him all that much.
It's nothing personal. It's nothing personal.
He's very what I like about Jarbo and what I'll say about Jarbo is he speaks his mind. Right. And he may be right, he may be wrong, but he's another one that's not afraid to speak his mind and say what he thinks at the moment. Now I'm one of those guys where like I love Vega. I love the example you gave earlier today when I asked you. I'm like, oh wait a minute, Vega, you didn't change your opinion from yesterday to today? You mean your opinion is still the same yesterday as it was today? You said I'm like a tree. And you're with the branches and you grow and you the tree blossoms and you were explaining all that stuff. And that's how you would think that a normal, rational person would be. But we're talking about people that change their mind from moment to moment based on whichever way the wind blows. These are the kinds of people that get to interview Zack Snyder on a Zoom call. People that don't have any real stake in the game whatsoever. They're bandwagon fans. They're not really Zack Snyder fans. They're just people that saw a cause and decided to jump on it for one reason or another. You didn't hear nothing about these people early on in the movement. You didn't hear nothing about these people even midway through. But all of a sudden, once the movie was getting ready to be released, all of a sudden these people who had nothing really to do with pushing the movie were all of a sudden touted as heroes and leaders of the movement. And these are the people that are responsible for everything just because they happen to be at the right place at the right time, I guess. Just because they happen to be friends with people who happen to sit down and have a beer with Zack Snyder in a pub one day. I don't know what happened. I'm just speculating here, but all I'm saying is that's how things work. That's how messed up this world is. It's not about what you know. It's not even about what you're passionate about or who you care about. It's who you know, who you happen to hang out with, and whose butt you manage to kiss in the right place at the right time. And that's how it is. That's how it goes.
Nepotism, baby. Nepotism.
It's not so much nepotism as it's just like, let me tell you how it is. It's like you're sitting at a table at this little bar in California one day, and you're sitting there with a couple of your buddies, you and about 4 other of your buddies, and you all like banded together and you're a bunch of friends and you gave yourself these initials, and you're this group and everybody and you think you're cool and you're sitting down enjoying an ale, right? And in the pub, all of a sudden one day, in walks Zack Snyder himself, the legendary Zack Snyder, right? And you see him, and you and your group of buddies happens to see him there. And so one of you actually has enough courage to get up and walk up to the man and be like, hey, Zach, why don't you sit down and have a beer with us? We're big fans of your movies. We're big supporters. We want your Justice League movie to get released. And Zach is seeing you and seeing that you're fans and you're getting invited to sit down and join this group and have a beer. 3 hours pass by and you realize, oh my God, we've been sitting here drinking and talking with Zack Snyder for 3 hours, right? 2 days later, you're all of a sudden, well, oh wow, yeah. Let me add you. Well, look at this. Zack Snyder added me on his social media Vero platform. Oh wow, look, I'm friends with Zack Snyder on Vero. Oh wow, me too, me too, me too. That's what happened. That's how it happened. These people do nothing. They did nothing. They just happened to be at the right place at the right time.
I think they did it for. I think they might have did it for like. I think those types of people, they might, usually do that for the sake of being famous. Hey, I met Zack Snyder that one time at a pub. We're not friends or anything. We had a good chat.
No. But these guys took meeting Zack Snyder to a pub to a whole nother level. I mean, they went from meeting Zack Snyder in a pub to wanting to start having barbecues at Zack Snyder's house. These people have become like Zack Snyder's like the bad neighbors you can't get rid of, right? That's what the situation has become for Zack Snyder. I could just imagine Zack Snyder in like that nightmare scenario where, have you guys ever seen the movie? What's it called? Isn't it called Bad Neighbors? Isn't that the name of the movie?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that movie? I can see Zack Snyder kind of being in like a scenario like that with these people. Not like because they're actually neighbors, because they're scattered all over the place, but like where they're constantly like DMing them and bothering them and sending them ideas and all kinds of crazy crap. And Zack is just like, I can't get rid of these people. I can't get rid of these people no matter what I do. Why? Because now, I've opened myself up and I'm too nice of a guy to tell them to F off. So now I have to. Now
you gotta be a dick.
Well, yeah, no, but he's not. But he's Zack Snyder. He's not going to be a dick.
I personally think these people are gonna turn into Buffalo Bill and end up wearing Zack as a skin or something to get the more vibe.
It's an unhealthy
him and way they change his perspective on everything. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's an unhealthy obsession that some people have. Yeah, and it's an unhealthy obsession. It doesn't make any sense. If I'm a fan of the guy, okay, that's great. I can live my entire. There's a lot of people that I'm fans of on this planet that we live on. I'm a big fan of Vega, and I hope one day I get to hang out with Vega. I hope one day I get to hang out with Koozie Cast and Johnny and all you guys. I hope one day I get to hang out in a pub with you guys someday. I think I would get more out of something like that than hanging out in a pub or on a Zoom call for 6 minutes with Zack Snyder. I'm just saying. Because this is the thing. Do you really think that everybody that you meet, like you meet Zack Snyder, do you really think that you meet Zack Snyder and you have an unhealthy attachment to the man? Does that mean that he's like your best friend? That means you can call him up anytime you want to talk to him. In the middle of the night, you can call him up. Hey, I just drank a little bit too much vodka, so I was wondering, Zack, could you join me tomorrow? I know I'm a drunken alcoholic and I don't make sense 90% of the time, but I want you to come on the show because we got a lot to talk about. And guess what? People are going to leave me $200 super chats, and all I'm going to say is, thanks, bro.
The only reason I think, I'm just going to add my 3 cents, then I have to go. First of all, I agree with Zod that the only reason that they get to keep tagging Zack along is because every time they do something, they say, hey, whatever we get, we're going to donate to AFSP. And you know that Zack has like a very soft spot for AFSP, and we have all donated to AFSP. So whatever they do, the only like bait that they can actually give that even makes Zack consider, okay, let me give my time to these people, even though I shouldn't, or maybe whatever, is because they said AFSP. Whatever we get, even $500 or even $20, we'll give it to AFSP. Point number 2 being that these people reveal, personally to me, that these people reveal their true faces when they allowed people like Gorza and the drunken ass to have direct access to Zack, and you will know exactly the people I'm referring to. Because if
Right.
anyone knows history, we all know where they were when things were happening.
Yep.
Especially you, Zod. You know, you and I got called out by these people a lot, and especially when Mr. West took on the drunken monkey. All he did was rant on and on and on and on and on. Anyways, and the last thing that I want to say is that I've mentioned, like Zod knows this, and if he has forgotten, I work in textile, right? So I'm from, Bangladesh, and I work in a industry that is, if not as much as corrupt as Hollywood, right? We have, nepotism and misogyny and sexism at its best. All right. And not just my country, every country that is involved in the textile industry. But one thing we know is that as producers, when a product fails in the market financially, you immediately recall that product and change everything. You change the whole design. So given that everything after the Ann Sarnoff article, and people like me and Zod, we knew this from the very beginning. That's why at one point, we were shouting anarchy, because we did not want to support Aquaman. We did not want to support any other movie outside Zack Snyder's, Justice League. If you remember that, Zod. And people actually called us out on that. But right now, it is more evident than ever, especially after everything that Emmerich, the Ann Sarnoff article, and everything that is happening in Warner Brothers. This is the moment we were looking for. Now is the time to hit them financially. And like I said, listen, if there are DC fans out there, I'm a DC fan. I came into the DCU as a DC fan. But personally, what Zack showed me, this is the greatest interpretation of DC in my eyes as to what Zack did, from casting to the vision to everything, even the art that he was building up. I have been saying for years that I want a story where Batman gets his, the final, ride of Batman, So, he was going to do that. Just like in Kingdom Come and, the Dark Side Wars, he was going to give that Batman that send-off.
Right.
So to me, to lose that on a personal level just pisses me off. But coming back to my point is that if we can hit Warner Brothers financially right now against all the Matt Reeves and the Suicide Squad and whatnot, when the new management comes in and they're going to see that, okay, this did not make as much buzz or noise as much as what Zack Snyder did, and there's an active fan base out there screaming and shouting to restore the Snyderverse, it will click on any businessman's head that this is what we should do, because the product that we're shoving down people's throats, they're rejecting it. They're outright rejecting it. So this new quota that's going around the internet that you can't voice your opinion about not wanting to contribute financially to anything DC makes you a toxic, quote unquote, a toxic person. Since when having freedom of choice as a consumer a toxic, anything?
Yeah, that's like saying because I like to buy oranges and I don't like to buy apples, that makes me toxic against
that makes you toxic, that makes you a racist, that makes you a sexist. I'm like, dude, I just don't want to watch this movie. I don't like what they're saying. I just don't want to watch it. That's it.
Yeah, it's crazy though. It's because I feel like even without it being said, the personal decision of those that decide like, hey, I'm not going to be watching these movies. I'm not going to support them. When you look at the numbers, that's exactly what's already happened. Every movie that came out after Aquaman, truthfully, has tanked, considering the amount of profits all the movies prior to were making.
True.
And Justice League was the beginning of that point. Luckily for Aquaman, I don't know, I guess it just had a great great promotion. People were in love with Jason Momoa. It is a good movie. It is a good movie. I'm not gonna say it's a horrible movie, but it's obviously not what we wanted, especially out of the Snyderverse. But every film that follows, it's tanking and tanking and tanking. I think whoever ends up owning this company, they're gonna realize this. They're gonna be like, okay, these movies, the overall consumer doesn't want them. What DC had going for itself that they didn't realize was that it was different than Marvel. you know. And they got to get back to that. They got to get back to that formula. They got to get back to just and hopefully having that be, you know, the Snyderverse. You know, restore the Snyderverse. What Zach was trying to do was truly a unique interpretation of these characters, and I agree with you, Kuzi. By far, the best interpretation that I've seen thus far on the big screen of these
Exactly.
characters, you know.
Yeah, and another thing is that you know I missed Prime's breakdown of the whole situation. I'll probably once this stream ends, I'll probably rewind and get back on that. But what my point is that everybody who wants to watch these movies, watch them. All I'm saying, don't support it financially. Because any money, any excuse you give to these execs, especially Toby Emmerich, you know he's going to play with the numbers.
Okay.
Zack Snyder's Justice League is breaking records beyond what Endgame did. Because we all know that, no offense to anyone who likes Marvel movies, but Marvel movies have no substance. They have no flavor. It's just, the instant you put it in your mouth, it's gone. You can't remember. There's no substance. There's no conversations behind it. But just see what Zack Snyder's Justice League has done. Everybody's still talking about it. BVS, people are still talking about it. It's been like, 5 years now since BVS came out? And we know for a fact that Zack Snyder's Justice League is going to carry us forward for another 5 years or so, even more possibly. But now is more evident than ever that we need to financially fight back. You can watch these movies, you know exactly how to watch these movies without helping Warner Brothers financially. Because if Toby Emmerich is around with this new management, regardless, Hamada can go, Sarnoff can go, even bloody Jeff Johns can go. If this sneaky bastard Emmerich is still around, he will convince people, like the same way he got rid of Warner Max, the same way he shifted all the blame to Killar. He's a sneaky douche. And he will do whatever it takes to keep his seat and keep the Justice League canon.
I couldn't agree more with you, Kuzi Cat.
Yeah, because people are blaming Killar, but that guy did everything Emmerich told him to do. Like even the day and date release thing that people are talking about and saying it's Killar's fault, that was Emmerich's idea. That was his advice. Yeah. Even an article came out a few days ago that he took credit for that, and how that has kept people's engagement to the Warner Brothers properties alive. Like people who could go to watch the movies in the theaters, they went, and people who couldn't in the States that they couldn't, they stayed home and watched it. But now that is being used, and I think one of the main reasons, I don't know what Prime said, but I think AT&T realizes that they cannot get rid of the Emmerich, Sarnoff, and Hamada without selling off the company or whatever the merger that they're doing with Discovery, because Emmerich has his claws
that was my thought
rooted all the way to the roots of Warner Brothers. And this guy is not like a new school guy. He's old school, and all these old school people, they have their claws rooted in the roots, man. It goes all the way to the security guard, to everyone. He has his claws in everyone's pocket. That's how I see it.
And Cisco has a great point here where he says WB execs and blue check marks, old gatekeepers who are compromised, calling other main consumers who use freedom of choice in speech toxic is a toxic attitude within itself. Exactly. See, that's the whole point. That's the whole point. We're toxic because we are using our right as consumers to choose not to like your garbage.
True. Imagine how that would work out if they told people, oh, you can't vote because we have already chosen who's going to be the next president. Then you'll see how America reacts.
Well,
doesn't matter from which
that
side.
was actually low key the issue with this last one. That was actually already the implication. With this last election.
If it ain't broken, that's what they say.
Right, that's what they say. So, but fellas, with that being said, I do got to get to work.
Oh man, Vega, I was hoping, man, you could stay for another hour. You gotta go lift those boxes, man. My condolences. You know what, Vega, you gotta make sure if you can. if you can jump on with us next week, man, because I'd love to have you. You are
Yeah, it was
awesome.
great to meet you, man. I really enjoyed having you on, man. So yeah, if you could hop on next week, that'd be
Great
killer.
to see you again, Vega. It's really nice to. It's been a while since we chatted.
For sure, dude. For sure. We definitely got to do this again. But Zod, for sure. Next week, I'll definitely try and hop on, man.
All right, man. All right. Thank you,
nice
bro.
Nice to meet you, Vega. Take care, man.
Likewise. Take care, guys.
Stay safe.
I also got to go to ZodWriter. It's getting
All right.
pretty late.
Well, thank you so much for
having me on
coming,
the
man.
No,
I appreciate
we can't have
you
two
being
leaving
here.
one. You have to wait at least a minute. We can't have two leaving. No, go ahead, Joe.
Are you gonna come back next week and then be here on June 1st when I do the raffle for the for all the movies, the BBS and the
Star Wars, the actual like good version of them that you can get. Like that's what everyone's going to be going for, man. That's
oh boy, yeah. All right.
Hey, you're the guy that brought up Darth Maul's mom, though. I don't want you to go. I wanted to visit that further, but we'll talk about Darth Maul's mom next time you're on, dude. That sounds pretty cool.
That'll be awesome. Thank you so much for coming, man. Appreciate it.
Have a good one. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, man.
Wow. Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
You're still. Yeah, you're still on.
Me?
Wait, I feel like I missed one hell of a Star Wars conversation, man.
No. What I'm doing, Koozie Cast, is next week I'm raffling off some physical media here. I'm doing
nice.
not next week, but the following week, June 1st. I'm raffling off. Third prize is the Star Wars Skywalker saga with all 9 of the Star Wars films.
All right.
Second prize is the Star Wars Despecialized Edition, remastered on Blu-ray. This is the movies originally how they were before George Lucas started tinkering with them. These are the actual theatrical versions.
Without the CG.
Without all that. And then
the
first prize is the coveted 4K Ultra HD Batman v Superman. This is where we are. This is what we're raffling off on June the 1st. So I'm having Enosh from Poindexter Lounge on the stream. He's going to be here. He's a big Star Wars action figure guy. And we're going to talk about all that crazy stuff, and we're going to raffle off all these prizes. So that should be fun.
Enosh is fun. I get along with him just fine, except for the last 3 Star Wars movies.
Enosh is a great guy. I love going on his streams. He's always a lot of fun, and he tries to be open to a lot of different opinions, and that's what's great about him. You know,
he had the best professional, like quote unquote professional panel in the last DC fandom. He really engaged with his guests, and it was really fun to watch.
Yes,
everybody else, and I loved it that when the drunken monkey was having like technical problems, and I was like laughing my head off. But Enosh had the best panels in fandom, and I really enjoyed his show.
Enosh is awesome. Yeah, I can't wait. So we're having him on June 1st, and we're gonna raffle off all that great stuff. So that should be fun. I keep telling everybody, anybody interested, just make sure you're in the chat during that show, because I'm gonna announce the winners, and give the rules and all during that show. So
all right. I can't wait. I hope I win the BVS 4K.
All right, man.
How do we just submit the names in the raffle? Do we have to be in the chat or something? I forgot.
No, you'll just have to be in the chat, and you'll get the instructions on the day of the show.
I see. Okay.
So don't worry, man. As long as you're there, because you can be here on the panel with us and still win. But it's gonna all depend on how it goes. But we'll work all that out during the live stream on the 1st. So that should be fun. Yeah. So guys. I mean, it's been a really, really fun panel, and I guess since we got people, getting ready to leave us, Johnny. I don't know. I think maybe this is a good place to call it a night. What do you think? We've been going for 3 hours and 18 minutes now.
It's up to you, man. It's your show. Ace, you think anybody else will pop on? I mean, Nicotine and them guys might just be getting started. They might show up. I don't know, but that's the only possibility I'm thinking of. But if you want to wrap it up, that's cool. It is a Tuesday night. I don't speculate too many people.
I mean, I'm kind of just sitting here, going whichever way anybody wants to go. I mean, I know people
All right,
have
then
been
I'll
saying
bring
they're
up a
getting
few
ready to leave.
questions to
So.
Zod that I was really interested in. Did you watch The Boys, Zod?
I watched the first season. I didn't watch the second season. I started watching the second season, and then I got busy with other things and never got around to finishing it. But that's something that's on my list of things to do.
All right. So far, what's your opinion? Did you enjoy the first season?
I enjoyed the first season. Yes.
Yes. I really love the jabs that they took to Joss Whedon in that episode where they were shooting Dawn of the Seven. That was amazing. I just loved it. I watched it on repeat, non-stop, and laughing my head. Like, people say that the boys are actually like ripping on DC, but they're not. They're actually ripping on the fact that what a huge hypocritical conglomerate Disney has become, and that's exactly what they're doing, and I love it. Like,
it just rips on comics in general, superheroes. The show doesn't do it as good as the comic, but it's about the most perfect deconstruction you can get, and it attacks like the entire idealism of both big two at the same time on like the molecular level. It's really superbly done.
Yeah, I genuinely enjoyed that show, and the casting is just great. And I can't believe like a talent like Karen Fukuhara, who's our Katana, was just left in the cutting floor on the Suicide Squad. It just boggles my mind, man. She's amazing in that show as the female. She's amazing.
Cool.
And did you guys also check out Invincible?
Yeah, actually, I watched the show. It's really good.
It's great.
I heard a lot of people talk about it.
It's one of the best animated American cartoons I've seen in a long time, or Western cartoons. I don't know where exactly it was animated from, but
exactly.
What the fighting? Yeah. Well, I mean, what's up?
Me?
Yeah.
No, we're agreeing with you.
Oh, he asked about which kind of animated shows, but yeah, out of like your typical like almost Bruce Timmie looking stuff. I mean, the action and the fights, it just rolls so wonderfully.
I heard it is. I mean, I seen some clips out of context, and my God, is it really goddamn gory?
In terms of the animation quality, I would say it's closer to the New 52 animation meets remember that young Batman reboot animated show that they did where it was more of an anime style Batman. It was called The Batman.
The one that came out around the same time as Batman Begins.
I think it was 2004
actually,
or something.
It actually reminds me of the Young Justice style / the DC animated movie universe art style.
Yeah, even that would do. But yeah, like this is what I find funny, that when Zack did it ahead of his time, ahead of the curve, everybody lost their shit. But now it's the it trend to like deconstruct superheroes, and these kind of shows that are promoting deconstructed superheroes are the bomb right now. But when Zack did it with the big top dog, everybody lost their shit. I just find it hilarious. Zack has always been ahead of the curve. Like, if you think about Birds of Prey, like, Zack made a better Birds of Prey, and it's called Sucker Punch. And apparently, I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm excited. I'm gonna watch Army of the Dead.
I've seen Sucker Punch.
I've seen Sucker Punch. I'm talking about the next one, which is Army of the Dead. So he beat Suicide Squad to a better Suicide Squad. So I'm just enjoying it, man. I'm really enjoying it. This is like Zack Snyder's Birds of Prey and Zack Snyder's, Suicide Squad, which is Army of the Dead.
I mean, the thing is about the Birds of Prey movie, it's a really good Harley Quinn movie, but it's not a Birds of Prey movie. That was the
exactly.
problem.
Yeah. They could have just called it like, a day in the life of Harley Quinn with random people from Gotham.
How about Harley Quinn? Or maybe Harley Quinn, Dawn of the Birds of Prey.
That's a long shot, but yeah, exactly. And Zach said it in just even like in that Wired, Zach answers Wired question, is that there's a Snyder cut of the Sucker Punch movie as well, which has never been released. So I'm like, come on, man, just give it to us.
I find that fascinating, especially because Sucker Punch was an original story created by Zack Snyder himself. So you're telling me that Zack had took an original story, had an original movie, an original idea, and the studio even meddled with that. It didn't let him release his own idea that he wanted to do. Like, what did he do to these people that they hate him so much?
My prediction is in 15 years it'll be in the Criterion Collection, the real version of Sucker Punch. Like, because unless something happens with Zach, but I think his star's just going to continue to rise, and I think that that's going to be a movie people are going to keep humming about because there's not enough buzz behind it. Like this panel's the most people I've seen that agree with me that it's some of his best work, but I think in the long run and a long time we are going to get like a really, really high quality release of it, and from something prestigious like Criterion.
Hopefully, because I have no idea what Zack Snyder did to Toby Emmerich that he has such a hard on to destroy Zach. I have no idea. Maybe because I know how these kind of corporate people are, because I have met them, maybe not in the same industry, but in other industries, that these people are no different than Trump. The only reason I give Trump credit is that he is exactly who he says he is. So I know corporate big shots who are exactly like Trump, but they pretend they're not like Trump. So maybe when BVS was coming out, Toby Emmerich made a bet somewhere in one of those underground circles that my movie is gonna make $1 billion, and maybe some other dude's like, no, it's not, and he lost money behind the scenes that we don't know, because while shooting Justice League, a lot of funds came in and went out, on the reshoots that we still don't know the maths about. So just personally, I just know that Toby Emmerich lost a lot of money because of Zach, and it's not because of the failure of BVS, but that's on a personal basis, and that's why I think he has it out personally to destroy everything Zach. Because I think he even tried to go to Netflix, where they're with Zach right now and building his zombie verse, and Netflix was like, no, thank you, we don't want you here. Because I think they know, like people in the industry know when somebody has it out.
Toby hates Zach so much that he followed him over. That he wants to follow him over to Netflix. So
exactly.
Try to destroy him over there.
Yeah. So it might be Toby who ends up wearing Zach as a skin. I have no idea. He's totally after Zach, man. Shit.
There is a mad hate on though. I've noticed it too. I mean, he's tried to bury him since basically Man of Steel underperformed. He said, I think that BVS was him trying to set him up to fail from the get-go, and I think that he still, even I'm not a fan of the film, he hit a home run because you guys are all so fucking gaga over it. So he all he ever did was shoot himself in the foot over. And I can't even think of what Zach could have done, because from what I understand, he is just a wonderful human being to like everybody he meets. So I don't think that it was a bad first impression. I'm thinking like when Nolan was like, yeah, you want another artist, get this guy. And I think Emmerich had a buddy or a friend's son that he wanted to give the job to. And Zach horked it out from under him, and he's been pissy about that ever since.
There's got to be, you're probably right, Johnny. There's got to be something personal like that.
Yeah, one of the most amazing things we found out in the last fandom when what's his name, Zack Snyder and the writer Chris Terrio came up on their panel and they talked about it. The script for Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, it was already made, like before even Zack and Chris Terrio got involved, and they said it that the draft for the script have already been made, and they were gonna make this movie with or without Zack and Chris Terrio involved. When they came in, whatever we liked that made sense to us, that made us go gaga, that was all Chris Terrio and Zack Snyder. Every flaw that movie has objectively, that was already there, and that was already designed by Warner Brothers. So when they said that, I lost my, because Zack said that, He wanted to bring in
that and
Batman
that
in some.
the whole marketing campaign for BVS, like they kept the tone of the movie very ambiguous. They put out one trailer that was super serious, and they put out one that made the movie look like it was some vaudevillian slapstick movie, and then they put out another weird. I mean, like it really seemed like they were trying to tank their own film from get-go.
Yeah, because
this guy was on it.
Because I still think Toby Emmerich wants to sell off Warner Brothers and DC to Disney and have a big payout. Like I've been sitting on this like since the Justice League. I've been saying that Emmerich wants to sell out to Disney, but that's just me. It does not make sense that having the greatest comic book IPs, one of the greatest comic book IPs, and just turn it into a shitstorm. It does not make sense to me. It just
doesn't. Not at all.
Like if I was sitting at Warner Brothers, if any one of us was sitting at Warner Brothers and making those decisions, we'd be all in. We'd deep dive on the Snyderverse and just, stem off of it, Like, make the Death of Robin origin movie, make the bloody Batfleck movie, make the Deathstroke series. Like, keep on making it. Give Disney a run for their money, and it's not that hard. Anybody else can do it. I swear to God, you give Zach, like, the Image verse, like with Spawn and, all those characters from the Image comics, he would beat the living crap out of any other IP. That's why he's making a Zombieverse. We're getting an animated prequel and another rom-com heist movie based on one of the characters. So it's not that hard. So I don't know, man. And another thing that I also want is Star Wars or even Marvel. If Kevin Feige ever picks up that phone, because Kevin Feige is a shrewd businessman. I have to give him credit for that. He knows how to cater to his consumers, and he knows exactly how to make money off of them. If he makes the call to Zach and says, hey, man, I got an offer. Are you interested? And Zach says yes, Warner Brothers and DC can kiss it like, they're dead. They're dead that day, I assure you, if that phone call ever happens. Hello?
Yeah.
I
think it kind of might help validate them, though. I've always kind of been in the theory of especially because there's been the name Ghost Rider gets thrown around a lot with Zack Snyder. I think that if he came out and he made a Ghost Rider film that kicked mad ass for Marvel and made maybe not Black Panther money, but Captain Marvel money, that would be the best chance you guys have had at maybe DC picking him back up and doing your Snyderverse. Tell you the truth, that and having the Rock campaign for you guys. So which he sounds like he kind of wants to do. You guys need to make inroads. See, the thing is he's a shrewd businessman, but Kevin Feige's also a big fan of Zack Snyder. He's always been a vocal supporter. Lots of the Marvel cast and Marvel people have been. So, I really get the feeling that if they did ask, he would know what he was walking into, and I'm pretty sure they would let him play around a little bit, and it would be win-win for everybody involved, in my opinion. I mean, I know you guys all hate Marvel for some reason, but I think even you guys would jump in and enjoy that a little bit.
I don't hate Marvel. It's just
I'm excited at the prospect of a possible Zack Snyder Ghost Rider. I mean, I'd see it. Especially
you give me
if he brought back Nicolas Cage too. Are you kidding me?
Especially if they bring back Nicolas Cage, dude.
That'd be crazy. But I would love to see Zack Snyder's take on Frank Miller's Elektra, or Zack Snyder's Hulk versus Wolverine.
He's such a Miller nut. I mean, I know that they kind of already covered it in the TV show, but I don't care if they did just bring Charlie Cox back and reboot the Elektra saga, because they didn't even. The TV show did it okay in season 2, but I think if Zach did it as a film, it would merit having a reboot of it this soon after they did it on TV.
Zach would give Charlie Cox's Daredevil a makeover that will blow everyone's mind.
Oh yeah, he would definitely actually finally have a good costume too.
He would totally he would. I mean, if Zack Snyder does Daredevil and Elektra, that would shoot way above more than Spider-Man: The Homecoming whatever, that version of Spider-Man. Because the visual aesthetics meets with Marvel sensibility and Daredevil. Oh, come on, man. That'd be crazy. That'd be like Zack making a Batman movie. Like, really making a Batman movie. But only it's for Marvel. And it's red.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, you know what? We've been going for 3.5 hours, and I think now would be a good time to go ahead and end the stream. So I want to thank everybody for being here. And I guess next week we're going to have a good show. KoozyCast, you know, man, you're welcome anytime, brother. This was
thank you. It's always a pleasure, Zod.
It was great
I
having you
always
guys.
keep tabs on Zod and what he's doing, and every time he gets excited, I also get excited.
Hey, man, you know, and
fired.
you know, and I'm telling you, man, you know how to bring it out of me, man. I was ranting, I mean, just like the old days, because you know how to bring it out of me. I was getting kind of ticked off because I realized, what you were saying was true. It made so much sense. And I mean, and that's where we, you know, and that's unfortunately that's where we are. So
I hope cooler minds prevail and realize that this is the opportune moment we've been waiting for to hit Warner Brothers financially, so we can actually restore the Snyderverse to the table with the new management that's coming in. So let's see what happens. Let's see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. And with that, I'll say we'll definitely see everybody next week. Right. Thank you very much for coming.
Bye, ZodWriter. It was a really fun time hearing that you talk. Sorry if I wasn't talking that much in the panel.
Man, it was great. It was great having you here, man. Thank you for coming. Thank you, everybody.
You're welcome.
We'll see you next week.
All right, we'll see you.